Boo. Ah,
Ah!
I got you.
I
I got you.
explode.
I got you good. Um,
I put
what?
I took your announcement and I promoted it to a full on at everyone in the bar. Grins
Oh,
and
thank you.
smiles.
Thank you. Oh god, it's so loud. I need music, but not super loud. No, that's too quiet.
Fucking everyone,
Okay, no,
everyone ever is pinging me right now.
uh-oh.
Also, I did not realize you were like starting.
Oh!
Uh,
Sorry.
so I was like demonstrating because I got the thing I was talking about on
Yeah,
OBS working, and I
yeah.
was trying to show you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you heard me deafen.
Uh, it is likely I heard you deafen, and the swirling torture nexus that is my brain just fucking forgot it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Nah, that's just what happens when you're living with ADHD. Grins and smiles.
That's fair. Hi. Welcome
Hello.
welcome to this time here where I make a silly little guy and then me and oh, the
The time
lemon
of on
bagel.
Thursday.
Thank you for the
The
follow.
time the time of on Thursday when you make the thing.
When I make of a thing, I'm gonna make a funny little guy. I have oh god, oh. I have it's real. Ivy saw me. I sent a picture of the really. I was gonna make it simple and then I made it complicated, but it's fine. I made a roll D&D maker kind of thingy. Um,
Awesome.
my glass.
This motherfucker made a generator.
Basically one that I just wrote down. And
I love
then
it.
here I will have. But yeah, if you want to follow along and make your own funny little pets. Oh, shit. Do I have? God damn it. Yeah.
The thing I'm using to follow along with this is I am currently working on a massive world building article for
Nice.
my
Ooh,
fantasy setting.
there we go. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put that in. But yeah, no. So basically, I'm gonna roll for a funny guy. I have
Funny.
basically but yeah, the follow along thing is just I don't know if I don't know I'll keep the results of what it is so that if you just want to make a funny little guy alongside of
Yeah.
me. But yeah, I have for race, class, alignment, and then background, and I tried to keep it symbolish and give it a variety just so that like I don't know it's not like a billion different things, but it is also a amount of things I guess is the word. Um, so here, let me write this down right here. So class, do alignment. And this is also semi-inspired by a thing I did with an art group of mine. It was pretty fun, where we did something similar. But there were, I think, either he had more or less options. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Let me. Okay, and then I also man, I was like, man, I remembered to do everything, and then I didn't because there's another thing I forgot. Um, ooh, so look at all my tabs. Um,
This motherfucker's on so many tabs.
okay, hang on. Don't look at all my tabs.
3,000 tabs.
Okay.
I say while looking at my Firefox, which currently has an actually obscene amount of tabs.
How many? How many?
Oh, I don't think you'd want to know.
Oh, that's that's concerning.
It's greater than 15.
All right.
Per window.
Oh.
I have 3 windows.
Oh my god, you're insane.
I have that kind of mega mega extreme ADHD that makes it so I have to process 3 things at once or I don't process anything.
I mean that's fair. All right. So yeah, so basically how I have it is for race it'll be a D8, for class it'll be I had to do a site like this mainly just because some of them
Oh
are
yeah.
not normal D&D dice, but like a D13, a D9.
Oh
Um,
lol.
well, because alignment there are 9 alignments, and for classes there are 13 classes.
Yeah. I mean, for sorry. Can you repeat that for alignments? There's 9 and yeah. No.
Because of Artificer.
Yeah, that's fair. God, I keep forgetting Artificer is like a thing because nobody ever plays Artificer.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
What?
Artificer is technically more popular than Druid on average. More people play Artificer than people who play Druid.
Mm-hmm.
But you also don't think about Artificer.
That's fair. All right, so
I mean, maybe you do. I don't.
all right, I will roll for race and 6. That is rabbit folk.
Hold on, I'm gonna go get my. This is making me think about my dice. I have a tiny little owl bear around here somewhere that is a full owl bear plushie, but it's also a dice bag.
Ooh, that's cute.
It either has my Cthulhu dice in it, which are my lucky dice, or it has my metal set in it, and I can't remember which one.
Let's see, and then so next we'll go into class. Make this a
Right back.
D13. Whoa, okay, 10. 10 is rogue, okay. Oh yeah, something I was also gonna do is I also, for each race in class that has like sub-races or subclasses, I also did offer stuff for that. Rabbit Folk doesn't have any sub-race stuff, but Rogue does. So we will actually also be rolling a D9 to figure out the subclass. An extra D9. 2. Okay, what is 2? Gotta go over here. Classes are. I've been using this one because this one's pretty. Here we go. 2. Assassin. Okay. Alright, so far we have a fucking bunny that can kill. Alright, now we gotta do another D9 for alignment. 4. Lawful neutral. Oh, fucking lawful neutral assassin rogue. Alright, and then background will be a D8. So
Alright, back. So it appears my owlbear has disappeared into the wind. So that's gonna have to be solved later. Not right now, but later.
So far I have gotten an assassin rogue rabbit folk who's lawful neutral.
Oh, let's fucking go.
So I'm gonna have to figure that out. And then for background, we're gonna roll that. 1. A hermit.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, I have a stock background inside of my fantasy setting. Like inside of my homebrew that literally fits that exact fucking description.
That's funny.
Which is weird because I thought it was like a very, very hyper specific, like unattainable unless you specifically asked for it type of background in D&D, but you just created it right here. So
well, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. The point of this is just like I want to get combinations of stuff that like I don't normally do when I make characters, because most of the time when I make characters, I make big men who are usually either paladins or clerics or monks sometimes. Honestly, that's usually what I make.
This motherfucker is a big fan of big men.
Where do you think you are?
I am. I'm shaking your hand. I have to avoid making hot elven ladies constantly. Like it's my main goal in life is to not make as many fucking my main goal in life is to not make so many goddamn fucking hot drow.
Okay. And so then just remembering what we decided on. What did we decide on? I forgot. What did we decide on? Oh my god. I forgot. We were talking about so many other things. I forgot what we were. Okay.
Working on this motherfucker. Nero, we do love Drow here. I'm shaking your fucking hand.
Hi.
I have some opinions on Drow and orcs and monster races in general,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm sure a lot of people share my opinions on them.
They're cool.
They're cool. They're so okay. That's not Jace. That's me. Let me turn myself up a bit.
Oh.
All right. Yeah. Is that a bit better? Smiles.
I mean, yeah, you sound fine either way to me.
Well, yeah, the chat was saying I was quiet. So
Okay. Here, I could turn you.
Turn myself up a bit. Yeah. I think Drow and orcs are very awesome, cool, but I think the way that most companies in like fantasy settings handle them is stinky poopy.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's no fucking coincidence that as soon as people started noticing,
okay.
both Pathfinder, both Paizo and Wizards of the Coast just completely altered the way they wrote orcs and Drow.
Okay, and I'm gonna give myself a timer, where basically, yeah, I'm gonna give myself roughly an hour to work on this. And then, if I have time left, I'll just go on and do a new one. Mainly, I'm gonna just do like a sketch, kind of like I will get a clean sketch, pretty much. That's what I aim
basically
with these.
Basically a bit of like character design practice, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. All right, let's go. Okay. So, for the topic, you said NPC and story quest are what you wanted to focus on.
Yes. For those in the audience who don't know, hi, my name is IVGM. On the internet, I primarily present myself as a funny little satyr creature. And I primarily present myself as a game dev after that. But I am also a permanent DM who's been DMing for like 11 years. So I have some opinions on making proper NPCs and stories, like quests for your players. But also it fits with the thing you're doing, because a lot of the tactics I use for creating characters for NPCs or stories in general are the same things I use for the occasional times I get to actually play as a D&D player.
Let's see.
But tell me how you handle D&D character creation first. I wanna.
Jeez. Well, you already heard me say I tend to like. Well, now I will say I do tend to make similarly, not necessarily like looking, but like body type, because I like drawing big men. But I do try to make their personalities different. I will say I have fallen into the trap of recently making a few characters that are because like in the Warlock Paladin I've played, and then for a one shot, I made this Twilight Cleric Abyssal Tiefling, that I really want to put in a campaign, because you know I do the thing of even with one shots I make characters with stupidly complicated backgrounds. That usually all that information lives in my head. I'm very bad about writing it down. It lives in my head, but like it's, I don't know. I'm trying to think the right way. So like, I will definitely say a lot of the characters. What, Jace? Can I say what my favorite? Of course you can. Yeah. That I made. Yeah. Also feel free in chat to say like, you know, what character, like if you make D&D characters, you know, what kinds you like. Jumbly? That's not the character. That's Billy asked me if I could give my Twilight Cleric a pet pig named Jumbly. This is not canon. I just drew a little pig when I was making it.
This is not canon.
Yeah, this is not canon. I like that ear much better.
Hell yeah. So you just kind of generally go for like when you're creating characters for D&D, just sort of like the type of character that you can see yourself as.
Yeah, sometimes oh my god, I keep doing the wrong thing. I also have purposely like made characters that are not like me and whatnot. I will definitely say the beginning of D&D, like when I started doing D&D and whatnot, it was a time of my life where I had a lot going on in college, and I was just like, I had gotten out of a bad friend group and a bad
Hell
breakup
yeah.
essentially, and Lily, my roommate and one of my mods, basically became like, we became very good friends, and they and some other the people had introduced me to Lily, we they were doing D&D, and I was like, I'd always heard of it but I never played, and I'm like, god, how could I have never, like, it's literally one of my favorite things now, and I don't understand how I like was never able to play before, um because I
It's
literally love making characters so much.
oh, making characters is so fucking fun.
um but I'm gonna fix chat. I don't want to. Sorry, chat. You're gonna be really tiny. Um, but so yeah, like I will definitely say I tend to make either like big. I mean, the men that I make are always at least queer in some aspect, either trans and or gay or bisexual or whatever. Like,
Nodding my fucking head,
the
yeah.
only times I've made really different characters is like I played a butch lesbian dragonborn monk. Her name was Sora. Not because of Kingdom Hearts, but apparently that's just a dragonborn name. Um,
What? Sorry, what's Sora?
yeah, that's a dragonborn name in the book. It just says
Yeah.
Sora. So that's what I did.
Sometimes, sometimes when you just slap like phonemes together, you end up on a word that already exists, and you have to like grapple with the
Yeah.
consequences of that.
Yeah. But so yeah,
I,
basically like she was different. I mean, she still very much fell into like, I like playing himbo character. I like playing characters that don't have to think because I hate thinking. I play like that the wizard that I showed you, like, wizards get spells, sure, but I hated having to use intelligence. I don't think, man. Like, I don't think.
we you liked playing himbo characters because you yourself are a himbo.
Yeah, I don't like thinking. I'm not a thinker. I'm not a thunker.
I'm fucking nodding. I'm fucking nodding my head.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'd say either him, but like probably like not do goody, but what's the word? Like stupidly like good, if that makes sense. Like they're trying to be a
Yeah, I
good
get.
person because they're like, I'm a nice person and I have no thoughts in my head, kind of, himbo.
Yeah, I get
Um,
what you're focused. I get what you're going for.
or I play edgy, dumb, edgy, angry, not like super assholes, but like a little, like a touch, just because I don't like being that mean, really. Especially playing characters, it's hard. Like, even when I've DM'd and I have to be like really mean, I don't like it. I feel weird.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they're mostly just kind of like huffy and gruffy, like, I don't know, think like Shadow the Hedgehog edgy, but not as angry, if that makes sense.
Oh, we fucking love that. Uh,
Um,
I totally get that. I feel like there is something to be said about making characters that you know you can play.
yeah.
Uh, it really helps like smooth along roleplay if you're not trying to do something that's wildly out of like your abilities to
Mhm.
improv as. Uh, speaking from somebody who tries to do a lot of different characters as a DM, it sometimes flops miserably because I have a very poor time improving mean.
That's fair. Also, hi, Shy.
Like hello, shy in chat. It hits you with the beam. You can't lurk. Fucking.
You can't lurk. Um, but,
Yeah, I have a very I can improv as a villain.
mhm.
Sure, I can improv as like a grandiose villain who like thinks that the players are insects, but I can't improv as like a bully. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no, I get that. I get that. Yeah.
It
Um,
feels a lot more personal, and I
yeah,
don't want to hurt my players' feelings.
that's fair. Um, alright, I'm gonna get that There we go. I'm trying to get these like fucking furry animal legs. You can't hear my friend? Uh-oh. I have you turned up. Uh-oh.
Hold on. Let me turn myself up a tiny bit more and project a bit more into my mic.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Let me check. Did I mess with any Discord output setting? No, it's fine there. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hi, Corgi.
Corgi.
That is a person from my chat. Grins and smiles, I think.
Grins
Unless
and
Corgi
smiles.
also shows up in your chat.
I don't remember. I have a bad memory, honestly. This is, but hi, Corgi, welcome. Yeah. And also, here, I'll, Billy, do the exclamation point DnD art. Just a reminder, if you want to follow along and make a rabbit folk rogue assassin lawful neutral hermit, go ahead.
Exclamation point DnD art.
DnD
do
fart.
It right now. DnD fart. Do it right now.
Do it right now.
Do it right now.
But yeah, I'm I forgot. Rip farts. I need to make a fart command. I keep forgetting to. I'm also just like out of custom command slots with Moobot. I just need to. I don't know.
You could do. I personally use Mix It Up too for a lot of my stuff.
I need to. I have it. I don't know. I just need to sit down and mess with the settings of things that I have and whatnot.
Oh yeah, messing with the overlay is really fun. Messing with overlays is awesome. I'm going through a pre-existing campaign of mine that went on for like 10 or so sessions before it petered out because people were in wildly different time zones.
Oh, that's fair.
Like we had like 2 people who were in Europe and 2 people who were in California.
Oh my god.
It just wasn't gonna work out. D&D fart.
D&D fart.
But we got a bit of the ways in, so it allowed me to make a lot of NPCs and have them meet a lot of different people. So it's one of my best like actual extant examples of me making NPCs for a D&D game.
Yeah,
which
cool.
by the way, at some point I should show you this document of mine that I have that contains all of the stuff for this particular campaign. It's like 5 or 6 quests, and it's like 5 or 6 quests, and it's 24 pages long.
Oh my god.
It's basically just an adventure supplement that I wrote out over time. Yeah, Jill, it just is like that. Scheduling issues are the bane of 90% of D&D games, I think.
Yep, is the main reason that the campaigns I have been in have been on hold for such a long time.
Lol.
I'm gonna change the music.
Yeah, I have a different process for creating NPCs and player characters. When it comes to creating player characters, I usually have the I usually create 2 concepts generally. Like the character I want to play and the character that I should play if party comp doesn't allow for me to play my first character. Because I usually try and just play to the strengths of the group, you know?
Yeah.
And also support characters can make for very good role-playing sometimes.
Yeah.
In my experience, at least.
No, yeah.
I have 2 general methods I go through when I'm concepting a character. My main one is Pinterest. I don't know if you use Pinterest, right?
No. I don't use Pinterest.
Oh, what? You're gay and you don't use Pinterest? What is this shit?
I never got into Pinterest. I don't know.
That's real. You're fair for that.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I was gonna make such a bad joke of like I was too busy getting.
I was too busy having sex.
I was too busy.
The my Pinterest board, the stuff I did on Pinterest got me laid several times. So grins and smiles.
Sorry. God, good for you.
There's a joke in another friend group of mine that I genuinely am a bard, or I just keep somehow like fucking lucking into like succeeding on charisma checks. Because I have had dates like go home with me for the after saying the dumbest of shit. Or talking about the just stupidest of things. The go-to example of mine is the time I talked to a date about the different types of anti-aliasing in Unreal Engine. And she somehow thought that was attractive.
I mean, if it works, it works.
I guess? I think it's just because I'm so hot and irresistible and whatever.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I've got, just what I'm saying is, I've got, like, 3,000 billion kajillion Pinterest boards.
Oh my god.
And all of them have, like, upwards of, like, 500 to 1,000 pins on them.
You're insane, jeez.
With my main one having 3,000 pins on it.
How do you even look through that?
You don't, is the thing. It's
Okay.
The way I use it is I just load all of the related concepts and general ideas for like what I want something to aesthetically look like, or for my main board, concepts that relate to my setting without going too buck wild, crazy, insane, and whatever direction that it's trying to aesthetically go in. And then I will just scroll. And yeah, it is very, very easy to scroll and collect things on Pinterest. It is very fucking easy. As Nero said in chat. But yeah, no, I will kind of just scroll for a bit through one of my boards. And if I see a piece of character art that catches my eye, usually I will use that as a basis and then write down like a separate appearance instead of using that as like the actual genuine foundation of whatever character I'm working on. So like I might see a character on Pinterest, and instead of like using that as direct reference, I write down a general description of it that I like, and then change things in the text, and then if I have to send that to somebody for commissions, I will send the text with like pointing to specific parts on the original ref that are similar, as well as a combined like set of other refs from my Pinterest board that are related to it.
I see.
I've gotten better about not using character art for references, especially for recent characters I've been making. But I think it's also perfectly fine to take inspiration from like other people's character arts.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it's like D&D, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, literally whenever I make D&D characters and I need inspiration, I just look up these types of D&D characters and I just mishmash so many different things I want onto each other. Pretty much.
I don't know what your screen setup is, so I won't like share my screen and show you my Pinterest board. But gist of it, I scroll until I find general set of character concepts I like. I mash them together, and then usually I do it in a similar way to my world building process, which I have come to label the question method, which is a bit insane and a bit batshit, and it can appear at first to be the like world building and D&D equivalent of saying just do it, just come up with an idea, you know. But like usually if I'm building a new character, or if I'm building a new D&D or like NPC or a new D&D like player character, I will like go through areas of my world that I like and that I want to write for, and then I will ask myself like, what have I not done in that area? you know?
Interesting.
Like, for the campaign that is called in my notes Crystals and Chimney Smoke, that's never told to the players. I just have names for shit, so it helps me keep track of things. It was set in a city, and I had never fully delved into like fully urban D&D campaigns. So as I was coming up with quests and such, I was like looking at some of the stories I like, and I was like, I've never done one where the players have to go up against like an organized criminal organization.
Ooh.
So I should do some research into that, and I should create a character who I think would be interesting for the players and who could act as a sort of frontman villain for that side of this urban area. Which eventually came up in the Magitech recovery quest, as it's labeled in my notes, where the two primary villains of that, I guess, are Grigori O'Halloran, who is a half tiefling, half halfling mob boss, and his whole racket is that he is smuggling in like magical technology, which played into like the greater themes of like corporate greed run amok and like encroaching technology inside of a D&D medieval setting, you know, and how it was like upsetting the balance of things. And I thought, well, I've got a small little tiefling guy who's just got like a little dumb stinky revolver and some magic. I should probably give him some kind of big fucking bodyguard, which came up in the form of Canterhill, who is a big bear-like human thug, like a big 6'5" motherfucker, brick shit house type guy,
brick shit.
And you know, coming up with both those characters, it was sort of a thing where it was like, I need to give reasonable backstories to these characters for the purposes of like improv and if like mid-combat conversation happened, as well as for helping flesh out personalities and stuff. And one of the many overarching plot points inside of my setting is a recent war that happened, a big great war that encompassed multiple countries. And like the veterans of any combat, real or fictional, some of them kind of got a bit displaced after the war. So Canterhill is one of those guys. Big brick shithouse veteran who kind of didn't have much opportunities after the war, and so he fell in with up and coming Havlin crime boss by the name of O'Halloran, who's a bit slimy and a bit greasy, but I think the whole point of O'Halloran was that he was also supposed to be a bit charming, actually. Like, in a way, in a sort of like Tony Soprano type way, you know?
Yeah, no, bada bing, bada boom. I'm walking here.
Yeah. I'm fucking
walking here. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Which, I also have it in my notes here that I gave Canterhill, like, as an NPC, 2 different stat blocks based on how much the party used ranged magic and weapons. Where if they used a lot of ranged weapons and spells, he would get in really close with like a big fucking sledgehammer. And if they were big fans of melee combat, he would be like up on one of the catwalks in the warehouse they were going to, with like an experimental rifle, just like fucking sniping them through the fucking window, which was meant to create an interesting combat encounter, no matter what. Basically something they hadn't encountered yet.
Yeah.
Regardless. They never got to this quest, but I think it would have worked rather well with this group, because they were also very creative fighters. I've never seen D&D players as creative in a fight as these guys. Funnily enough, this group included Nifty, like the Nifty table, my good friend Nifty. And Nifty had never played D&D before, and he decided he wanted to play a rogue, by the name of Oliver, who was very awesome, and him and I had a really fun time weaving the backstory for that character together. And he is the... I said this to him multiple times, and he doesn't believe me, but he is the single most talented D&D combat tactician I have ever played with. I have never seen somebody use reactions, actions, sneak attacks, and rogue abilities to the extent that he did. He also got smashed by a trash can one time, but that's besides the point.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say he got hit by a train one time.
Yeah, he got hit by a train one time.
He's fine though.
His character actually did have connections to an entity called the Conductor, as in a train conductor type entity. So that's very fucking serendipitous that you said that. Yeah, a lot of the characters in my games are also meant to be foils for the player characters, which is why I usually do the bulk of my writing after I get a good idea of what the characters are going to be, what the players are going to be doing.
Makes sense.
Like, I might have general basic ideas like, oh, these characters are going to meet, like, some kind of guild executive, or they're going to fight, like, some kind of werewolf, you know, etc., etc. But the bulk of the characters, the character writing is done after I know what the player characters are going to be. So characters like, sorry?
No, go ahead.
So characters like Grigori O'Halloran was meant to be a foil for the wizard character, because Grigori's whole thing was that even though he was smuggling magical technology, he was also using it to kind of study study and examine like extraplanar entities and technology and artifacts. And he was also sort of tied into a larger plot surrounding a big faction of monster races in the area. So very, very, very weird character, but the human character had some problems with monster races in the backstory. So this monster race mobster was meant to be sort of the foil in that he was also a person who was really interested in extraplanar stuff and also responsible for funding a, I guess, paramilitary group of like goblins and kobolds and stuff. Who were trying to... The Red Man Tide is a group of like goblins and kobolds in the campaign that was basically just, we don't want to be treated like monsters anymore. Stop treating us like monsters. And we're using any method to do that. Whole thing.
Yeah, I get that.
I guess the other actually foil character I've gotten here, like actually true proper foil, was not foil, but like character that I made specifically because of a different character, was an orc lady by the name of Liloma, who I made because Oliver had like attachment issues in his backstory, and so I had a character. I built this character specifically as because Nifty was already role playing Oliver as a very like caring individual, you know, like the sort of thief with a heart of gold character.
Yeah, I get that.
That is like really good with children and like people who are like in distress. So I made this gal who is like a head taller than his character, who is already the tallest one in the group.
Mhm.
And role play, you know, he did his thing like I knew he was going to, where he was very kind and very sweet to this character, and so I kind of role played her as being like very kind and sweet back, and there was like that sort of like awesome thing where it's like the player realized like he leaned into it, and there was like a burgeoning romance between Oliver and this NPC.
Mhm.
It was very awesome.
Nice.
I think gist of my thing is I get a general concept. I see what the players need and what the story calls for, if I've done it before, and then I build a character around that. Usually I try and do a general like concept. I try and avoid like stereotypical concepts for like races and NPCs.
Mhm.
And try to give the character at least one like 2 or 3 like visually distinguishing aspects to them too.
What did I say? Hi, I don't know why I almost said AJ. Sorry. um, but yeah, I'm making basically I rolled to make a funny little D&D character, and I'm designing it based off of these things that I rolled for, and then excuse me, and then oh my god, sorry, I threw myself off. And then yeah, Ivan and I are talking about just yeah, D&D, like D&D topics while I draw pretty much. And I have a little thing if people want to follow along at home while they draw. Well, I draw, sorry. Oh my god.
Have I told you about my gay himbo orcs?
I don't think so.
Sorry, I was just thinking about it.
No, you're okay, you're fine. Sorry, something came up. I'm okay, I just need to like BRB for a second.
Jace explode. Jace explode. Wait, can chat hear me? Can you guys in chat hear me? Blows you up with my mind? Hi, Coco. I didn't realize you guys could still hear me. Oh. Dodges? Where'd you guys come from, huh? Hello. I guess I could entertain while Jace is away. Yeah, I need to stop. I've been here, I've just been quiet. Oh, real. I need to slow down my thought processes a bit because I'm having a hard time fully articulating my NPC and player character process. Could chat hear me? Oh, yeah. Hey chat, did you know, grins and smiles, you can follow along with D&D art. Jace is currently drawing a character in the form of a rabbit folk assassin hermit. I think that's it. I think that was an assassin rabbit folk hermit. I think that is the character. So if you want to follow along, you could do that. Smiles and grins. I encourage you. I beseech you! Chat, what's your favorite character that you've played in D&D? I've been talking a lot about characters that, difficult question. Oh, for real. I've been talking a lot about the characters I've made for NPCs and such. Very, very scattershot. Talking about them in a very, very sort of, kind of scattershot way of how I create it. Because the way I create NPCs is very scattershot. It is kind of just sort of sometimes I just make them, you know? But out of all of the player characters that I have played, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she was a 60 to 70-year-old illusionist wizard who wore like long flowing red robes, and her staff was basically a giant sewing needle that she had carved out of like a big fuck off whale bone. And the way that she did magic was she kind of sort of like weaved spells together. She would weave illusions in a sense. And I didn't get to fully like play her. But the whole deal with her was that she was sort of like a true neutral type character where she didn't really do anything unless it benefited her. But I had like planned along the way when I was creating her to eventually transition her into a neutral good character. And if I remember correctly, her backstory involved her being a lesbian commoner who fell in love with a noblewoman, and had like shown her magic, and the noble house didn't quite like her, so they basically just kind of made up like an excuse of like, oh, you're practicing evil illusion magic, get out of town. And so she was forced away from her lover, and so she practices illusion magic in honor of her lover, who was, I think, killed at some point in the backstory, while also being a hot old lady. Grins and smiles. Let's see, I haven't played yet. Of course, my favorite character idea was just a bookish dweeb who only adventures to find more relics related to his area of study. Nero, I'm shaking your head. That is, I love those kinds of characters. I've got a character somewhere here that is just a gal who is just really fucking into slimes. Like, she just really fucking loves slimes. And she's like a conjuration wizard because she just loves slimes, and she loves summoning slimes and studying slimes. Her spellbook was basically just a bunch of papers tied together with twine. And to cast spells, she would take the twine off, and the pages would like float around her. Pal, my robot rogue Fairweather is so fun to play, but my bugbear bard bee is my child. Your robot rogue Fairweather. Is Fairweather like a Warforged, or like one of those gnome automatas they introduced in Spelljammer? Because there's two different concepts of robot in D&D. It's kind of homebrew? Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. You guys should... Hold on. Pal, tell me more about Fairweather. Tell me more about Fairweather. Fairweather seems kind of cool. I kind of like Fairweather. Oh, God. What did I sit on? Something spiky. Poking up into my leg. But I'm wearing a dress, so I can't just reach under my leg. I have to fucking pull the dress up and then reach under. I sat on a corn chip piece, like a corn chip atom, and it was fucking piercing into my leg like a fucking neutron flying through my leg, getting hit with a beam. Looking at my notes here, looking at some character ideas I have. I have an absolute insane. I have an absolutely insane batshit amount of character concepts that I've created to help players who can't quite who aren't fully comfortable with coming up with ideas on their own over the years. So let me fucking find these. So there's one in there that I want to play so fucking bad. Where the fuck did I post this? I sent like 3,000 of these. So I'm trying to fucking locate them. I'm gonna blast Discord with beams. I can't find shit! Fairweather's a navigational computer for a spacecraft? Yo? She can be put into a backpack and carried around. She's a chaotic flirt. She compulsively folds paper cranes if you hand her any sheet of paper. I think I love her. Hello?
Hello. Hi. Sorry. I am okay. Just having
Yeah?
anxiety. You know when you have to deal with a thing with anxiety. I am okay. Just
Yeah?
sorry if I sound shaky. I am okay. I just needed to calm down a little.
That's fair. I've been doing my best to play the bard role and entertain chat.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry I was gone for a minute. I should have stopped my timer and I didn't. Oops.
Lol?
I'm gonna just put it
now?
I'm gonna just put it at 25 minutes.
Fair.
Oh, go ahead.
Fairweather does seem like a character that's up my alley. Pal just gave me the rundown on some of her D&D characters, because I was like, ooh, I feel bad because my D&D character creation process is so scattershot. And I've been talking about it so much because I've been trying to sum up my fucking ADHD brain, like, circuitous eldritch process for creating characters.
What was it? Oh my god, my brain. Sorry, I just of course, sorry, I took a break and immediately just have all thoughts in my brain left. What character? Oh my god, I'm sorry. I got thrown off. I was thrown off my rhythm.
I found a
yes.
I found one of my characters who I'm either going to use as an NPC in a campaign or as my next player character if you want to hear about it.
Yes, yes, I would love that.
So I've been wanting to play a proper fucking like devil warlock, like infernal warlock for a while, because as I've said to anybody within earshot, warlock is my favorite class in D&D for a multitude of reasons. And the idea behind the character is I have two concepts. I have one concept that would fit in my setting if it's an NPC, and I have a concept that would fit in the general D&D setting if it was not in my setting. If I was using this as a player character. The NPC idea is that there's a type of infernal entity in my setting called a Daikon, and they're basically the chaotic neutral to chaotic evil type creatures. So they're like creatures of limbo. They're like an extended variant of those frog guys that I can't remember the name of that you can find in Limbo. Slads, I think.
Slad.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't think I know.
You
Unfortunately,
don't?
no.
Oh man. I'll send you a fucking video on the after this. Daikons are defined by their obsession with something. And so the idea is that he made a pact with a Daikon who was obsessed with like either it was one of three things. It was either a Daikon obsessed with tarot, a Daikon obsessed with gambling, or a Daikon obsessed with like just collecting souls, like a soul collecting Daikon, which is rare but not unheard of.
Yeah.
And the whole bit with him is that the way that this halfling cast his spells was a manifestation of his entity, who is card based in some variety, and so his spells would manifest as a deck of cards, which would fold out in front of him.
Ooh, oh, okay, that's actually pretty fucking cool.
And he would take a card from his quote-unquote hand of spells that he's prepared. And to cast the spell, he would just like grab it and do some kind of like magic trick with the card. Like he would do something weird with the card, and it would turn to a spell. Ranging from straight up just throwing it Gambit style for his Eldritch Blast, to like if he needs to produce an illusion, he would like do some weird fucked up like close-up magic with the card, and fold it origami style into a sort of like prototype of whatever he's trying to create an illusion of.
Jesus Christ, that's really fucking cool.
It's based on a single fucking image I found on Pinterest.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. Either the pact that the like invocation, the pact that I wanted to do for him was either Pact of the Blade, because I really like Pact of the Blade, or the Pact of the Tome. And the way he would his tome would manifest would be as a card box that he could fill with like sheets of basically like he could fill it with sheets of rituals that he had written down, and pull out a card version of that ritual that he could cast using his normal magic.
Jesus Christ, Ivy, that's such a cool idea. Oh my god.
I desperately want to play this character.
I wanna play with that character. That sounds so fucking cool.
His Pact of the Blade weapons would manifest as like I can't decide which one I like more. Like manifesting as like weapons that kind of look like they're drawn like those weapons that appear on playing cards. You know? Like in that sort of weird style. Or that they look like they're made out of like the cards themselves have bent and shaped into like the pieces of his weapon.
Oh god, your brain. Like literally, God, that's such a cool. I want to, but God, now I want a character with like a really intricate concept. God.
Well, okay. One thing I always try to encourage
Mm-hmm.
my players to do, and by the way, the setting agnostic version of him is that he made a pact with a devil who is like into gambling and doing the contracts through gambling.
Mm-hmm.
So I always encourage my players to come up both with a creative concept if they're playing a warlock for their patron, like how does your character interact with their patron, who is their patron, what does the patron want to get from making you their warlock, you know, that sort of thing. And that, you know, that question can range from the patron literally doesn't care about the warlock, and the warlock got the powers through happenstance, as would be the case with something like a Great Old One type character, versus like maybe your pact patron is a fae, and the fae is trying to harvest like emotions, or trying to like crack open ways to the Feywild so they can get something from the material plane, you know, stuff like that. And also, I always try and encourage my players to come up with creative ways to describe how your character casts a spell. Especially if they're using a component pouch and not like a focus of some kind.
See, component pouches are really cool. I just like am very lazy and don't want to have to keep up with materials. That's the thing, is I hate having to think.
That's so fair. I think one time I made like full cover combat, or I made like half cover for me and our ranger at one point during a campaign by casting an illusion spell, because even though it's not actually half cover, as in it blocks damage, you know, they don't know where you are behind this illusion. And the illusion was basically like a big floating cotton sheet, and the way that manifested was the listed materials for minor illusion in D&D are I think like a string, you know, like a cotton tuft.
Yeah.
So what she did was basically like she pulled out the string of cotton, threw it up in the air, and then made like a sort of like pulling or like ripping motion. Like you're like that motion you make when you pull open like a trash bag.
Yeah.
And basically like when she pulled, it expanded out the string into like a sheet of cotton.
Interesting.
Which is the one thing I can think of that isn't like, you know, I pull out, you know, fucking crushed fire salts and I throw them and it becomes a fireball, you know. I always try to encourage my players to come up with creative ways of like creative ways that your character has a spell book. Like what is your character's spell book like if they have one, and how does your character cast magic from that?
Yeah, that's something I feel like I've never thought about. I mean, like what's the word? In my, at least for me, I've always kind of I'm trying to think of the word. Whenever I've like thought about that kind of stuff, I always just thought about, I guess, how it looked, like how like the spell looked when it happened, I guess, rather than like how it took to make the spell, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What was it like specifically for me, something I'm always really interested in, also annoying, yes, but also something I'm always interested in is like, I think whenever you make a character that does magic, you have to acknowledge you have to acknowledge what the color of the magic is. 'Cause I feel like that's a really like important, I don't know, I think colors are really great and fun when making characters and whatnot. I know that's definitely the opposite of your funny little tuber, but
Grins and smiles.
But yeah.
I'm nodding.
But what's the word? Like my warlock paladin, one of the most fun things with him was like what's the word? Well, because like, so the funny thing is, like, I don't know if I told you this, but I made him. I originally made him for a campaign I played in college, and then my friend restarted the campaign like a bit more now, and we played it. We want to get back to it, but I'm not sure when. Um,
Yeah.
what's the word? Um, my God, my brain. Oh my God, I can't think. Oh yeah, but so like when I originally like made him, his story was like slightly different, but I definitely like just imagined him as like he had all like because something I know that like when you're like a warlock and whatnot that like you usually get some type of physical change. It could depend. Um, but
Oh yeah,
like
I love it. I love it when people actually flavor warlocks to have some kind of weird physical change after they're packed.
oh yeah, because like so a big thing I'll say with him, and it's not necessarily a spoiler because even if anyone who's played in the campaign is watching, I don't think this is like a spoiler or whatever because like they know about his patron,
None.
but so essentially his what was it his patron because so originally he is half drow, he is half human, half drow.
Yeah.
And then, so the funny thing is originally his hair was silver, and then his skin tone kind of ended up being like a mishmash uh, of like the more humanoid, or like the more human skin tone, and then the more like drow skin tone. And so, but he
Yeah.
actually had like silver hair originally, and he always had this like weird, like black streak in his hair that he just thought was weird. He always tried to like get it out, but it would come back. Um, and what's the word? But then when he went through his transformations, he got a bunch of he got a bunch of these like almost like magic looking like tattoos, but they're basically like these like black tendrils that are like all around his arms and his chest and stuff. And then
Yeah.
his hair turned almost completely black, which is funny because that was actually his other parents' hair color. And then but now he has like a few streaks of silver in his hair, and the thing is only like 30, so you can flavor it as like, oh, he's a gramps or something, but
He's a
like
stressed little motherfucker.
but yeah, no, it's literally because I mean he is honestly, but like it's also because of that. And then another thing is that so like a lot of times like people can like obviously like with what's the word, like his disguise self is one of those like warlock things he has. It's like automatic.
Yeah.
um and so he has to constantly keep that up for his eyes because one and sometimes the tattoos because his eyes actually normally are like the whites are all black now, and his eyes
Yeah.
are also green, and his eyes also used to be like gray. And so that's the funny, like that's the funny thing is like, yeah, he also has to constantly do that. He what's the word, I think with him I made him like because it's a what's the word, oh I can't think of the word, the word is oh my God, the word is pact. Or yeah, the so I because I did a homebrew pact with, welcome back, Billy. I did a homebrew pact with that the DM made, and I think I told you this, that like he basically can summon his patron because
Fuck yeah.
they're a lesser like deity essentially. And I also like, hang on, I mean, I can't. I'll show the art to you later, but I can't show the art on stream because of the spoiler. But I straight up just like yassified the patron because I think you, not actually, but like I don't know. I think it's fun when demons like, I know I like making some like rough tough demons, but I also think it's fun when like, I don't know. I want demons. I like I don't know. What's the word?
I don't think all demons have to be gross. I think you're right.
Exactly. It's fun when demons are like or have like really long eyelashes and like are all like pretty and I don't know. I like it.
Yeah. I had a similar sort of thing.
Mhm.
Not fully similar, but kind of similar, where it was a warlock who was physically affected by their patron,
Mhm.
and had like a present patron,
Mhm. Oh shit.
in the form of an archfey, warlock,
Mhm.
who, is a half elf, and was really insecure about her status as a half-elf.
Mm-hmm.
Like always tried to like cover up all of the aspects of her appearance that made her look elvish, so she could pass for more human.
Yeah.
And you know, she makes a pact for more knowledge and power with an archfey of the autumnal courts. With the the archfey was like, I will accompany you on your adventures because I want to learn about new emotions and I want to feel new things. I want to get more experiences than I can get in the stuffy courts of the Feywild. And this half-elf was like, all right, that's cool. I'll take your deal. And then after the deal, the patron was like, oh yeah, you're gonna see some physical changes. And then the half-elf basically goes from looking like a half-elf to looking like an entire full elf.
Ooh.
Like, even, like, more Eladrin in nature. Which, as you could probably guess, caused some internal conflict for this elf. But the whole bit with the character was that she and her patron would eventually fall in love, and that would be the emotion that her patron was trying to find all along.
I see.
Because you can't really experience proper love in the Feywild, according to her patron, because of how weird and stuffy and full of etiquette and rules the courts of the Feywild are.
I think that's a bit. What's the word? I don't know. I think that's a bit. Aren't Fae also supposed to be like, we're silly? Why are there rules? They're supposed to be like silly.
They are supposed to be silly, but you know, Fae are. For a realm that's supposed to be incredibly chaotic, Fae are also known for their incredibly strict set of rules and etiquette.
They're like, I'm gonna be silly, but there are rules to this.
There are rules to being silly.
There are rules to being silly.
There are rules to being silly. Yeah, so, you know, his character starts looking more like a vibrant, like, nature-infused Eladrin, and is being followed be her patron in the form of a weird, fucked up Fae-looking cat. Like
cat?
house cat. And I've also been wanting to play that character for a while. Because, I don't know, the idea of, like, a character falling in love with their patron, I think is very fun. Because a lot of the time, Warlock patrons are portrayed as, like, taking something more than the Warlock can give, you know? And the idea of, like, no, the patron just wants to learn, like, human emotions and stuff. They, you know, and they were taught the feeling of love, smile by their patron. It's very, makes me happy personally.
So what do you say that with my Warlock Paladin, when he originally was just like the Warlock, that was my original idea when I played him in college. But then I ended up giving an giving him like an NPC in his backstory to have a thing with. So it ended up changing, but I just thought like that was funny. Like I don't know, I really wanted a thing of like what if these two men kissed? That was basically it.
What if these two men kissed? Oh god, I need to tell you about the orc himbos, don't I? The orc himbo dilfs.
You do.
Okay, so you know how every campaign has like a lot of like sandbox style campaigns tend to have like a home base of sorts.
Yeah.
With NPCs associated to it. So when the players first came into the city, they saw two local orc business owners being discriminated against by a group of rowdy humans. And the players intervened. The bard beat one of the humans over the head with a trombone.
Nice.
And you know, they're like, you know, you saved us. We'll give you free lodging. You know, as long as you, we'll give you free lodging for the night. And discounted prices. You know, because you're our friends now. And they were the fire scales, or the Ferncella. in Orcish. Basically two married old dwarves or orcs. Two married old orcs. One of whom was a slightly shorter, slightly rounder, like fucking beast of a cook, and the other is his doting husband, who is much larger and a veteran from the war. So he's like all scarred up and stuff, but but don't let that fool you. He's a big fucking softie. I loved them to death. I loved portraying them because it was very fun to portray the shenanigans that the group got up with basically their fucking, like, I guess their landlord, but like more like the two kind of more turned into the party's dads.
Oh my god, I love that.
Which is very fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to make another campaign. The main thing is, like, I still also want to complete the campaign I made, but also that... Honestly, I made that one too fucking big. Why did I make a whole new continent? I made a continent. I don't know why I did that.
Lol?
I'm insane. Like, I'm literally insane. I wanted to finish it, but, like, it's so big. I don't know.
You're like, I've got a continent. I want to explore it.
But then I have to remember, like, another thing is I also feel like I'm bad at lying when I'm a DM, and I have to be, like, when I have to, like, be a character and, like, lie or, like, you know, pull tricks and whatever. And it's like, I feel like the entire time everyone can see through what I'm doing. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh god, they know already. They know. And I have to just pull up some bullshit.
Oh, that's totally fair. Oftentimes I will make a mystery, and then the actual solution to the mystery will change if the players really get attached to a specific solution to the mystery.
That's funny.
I have become abnormally good at lying to my players over the years, which has led to me being able to claim that was my concept all along. Which is maybe not ethical, but it makes the players happy, because it makes most of the player groups I've played with, it makes them happy because it makes them think, oh, I had it pegged from the start.
Hey, yo.
I'm so smart. I have also created group nemesis before, which has always been really funny. The Crystal and Chimney Smoke group, they fought against a group of generic goblins, and they wanted to learn more about the group that was sending them, the Redmond Tide.
Yeah.
And so they fucking, like, they like restrained him and put him on the back of a horse, and they were just like interrogating him on the way to a farmhouse that they were trying to save. I had to fucking come up with, like, a name and a personality for this goblin on the spot, which was very hard. So his name turned out to be Ming Ming in the end.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say Milkman.
Milkman! And he was a bit snivelly. He was a bit of a dick. However, I also thought of a really funny thing where it was like, hey, what if this character was actually really fucking intelligent and was, like, proficient in history and arcana and religion?
Shit. That's my timer. Okay. I just have to color this guy in, but he's pretty much done. I want to do multiple ones this stream. I want to try to do at least 3, so, yeah, we're gonna try to do 2 more. For this guy, I just want to think about stuff about him on the spot. I was just kind of thinking, I don't know why, I was thinking, like, this guy is, like, some retired, like towns, like a town, what's the word for, like an outlander town that, like, their militia, their guard, what do you call it?
Like a frontier militia?
Yeah, like, it's, like, a smaller town kind of in the woods, and it was probably, like, you know, a clan of rabbit folk, and I think him, like, he's like a grandpa, or, like, a grandpa uncle, And
Yeah.
he's probably like in his like I don't know if rabbit folk live differently from humans, but like but if we go for regular age, he'd probably be like I don't know like in his 60s or something. He
Yeah.
maybe he's
When,
like what? Oh, go ahead.
when it comes to fantasy ages, I also uh you might like using this descriptor in the future because it's my favorite way of describing it. I
Mm-hmm.
usually just like to say the equivalent of
The equivalent
like
of
30s or 40s.
yeah, that makes sense. Um, what's there? But so yeah, like I don't know. I see him as like lawful neutral in the sense of like I'm trying to think how that would fit here. Like probably one of the most chill dudes, you know, probably one of the most chill like grandpas you'll ever meet. I could see
What
him.
brought him?
What? I'll go.
Uh, well, yeah, this character's an assassin. So what brought this character into assassination?
Well, so what I'm thinking is, he like when he like originally worked for like the militia or whatnot, or like even what was it? But to do like training for the militia when he was a lot younger, he went and worked in one of the big cities and like
Yeah,
trained in this. But then he was kind of like, it's not for me. You know, the kind of the thing where like I'm gonna go into the big city to make more money for my family or something. And but then he was like, that's not for me, and he retired to like the town's like militia there. But he used all his skills, you know, he acquired. But I could see him becoming like a player character. Like I guess I want to think of like either him as an NPC or another player character. NPC, I could see him as like being in the background of like another, you know, like one of his either maybe like his niece or nephew, granddaughter, you know, someone like that, like who has to go off an adventure and something, and he's like maybe it's like their mentor, you know, taught them some stuff.
oh yeah.
I'd say hermit though because he still ended up being like he also retired from the militia and like mainly now just solely teach like I could see him being very good with kids and like just solely teaching kids stuff, you know.
This
Um
man is great with kids.
yeah, and then if he was a player character, I could see it as like a maybe like a what's the word? Like a revenge story where maybe like his family or his whole village was killed, you know, something like that.
Awesome.
And he has to seek revenge or something. Like that's what I could see. It's a very like simple reason for him to be adventuring, but I could see, you know, why he would do that.
Let's fucking go. Yeah.
And yeah, that's this funny guy. I time to do more rolling.
I
Um
will
yeah.
write a character alongside you,
Ooh.
drawing something because
Okay.
I didn't think about it when you did this guy.
Mhm.
I have like a general concept for what kind of character I would do for this set of parameters,
Yeah.
but it's not like a full thing.
Um, okay. I gotta pull up I gotta pull up my book. All right, and we're gonna hide that, and we're gonna do that, and make a new group, and then that, and then that, and then right in the corner. Okay. So we gotta do race, class, uh, alignment, and then background. And remember, chat. If you do D&D art, you can do your own if you want to do with the stream, and I will look at them at the end if anyone has wanted to do them. All right, let me pull up my book. Okay, so I gotta roll. All right, we gotta do the D8. So I will what I'll probably do is if I roll the same thing again, I'll just cross it off and re-roll. That's what I'm gonna do right now. Just for the sake of so we don't have any repeats. All right, so roll. Yeah. We got 6 again. All right, we can't do that again. All right, 1 human. All right. Oh,
Cool.
hi Ed. Human. All right. Human. All right, for class, that's a D. It's a D13. It's a funny number. All right. Roll. Why is it rolling the same thing? Stop doing that. Okay,
Do you
why
want me
is
to
it
roll it? See if it rolls different on my end.
I'm gonna reload the page, see if it does anything. Okay. I'm gonna roll it one more time. 1 again. All right. Artificer. I really don't. I didn't want to draw an artificer. It's fine. I don't know. I don't like drawing machines. I'll find a way around it.
Human artificer.
Yeah, human artificer. All right. So
Well, I mean,
now,
artificer doesn't necessarily have to be mechanics. It could be just a person who makes magical artifacts
that is true.
of
Oh,
any
all
sort.
right. I will have to think. Okay. So now we're going back to
Or an alchemist.
a D. All right. Oh, that is true. D. All right. Oh, my music's up. Shit. I gotta pick another music. No, I don't want relaxing. I want happy music, like upbeat. There we go. Okay. What? Oh, not 19. 9. Oh, I forgot that's not the roll thing. 5. I don't know why if you hit the start thing, it just keeps pulling a number. So 5 is neutral. Getting a lot of neutrals here. Neutral.
What artificer subclass, by the way?
Oh, wait, shit, you're right. I almost forgot. That was my bad.
None.
There's 4 subclasses. Okay. For artificer, there's 4 subclasses. Oh god, please don't get. If I get mechanic, I'm gonna cry. Okay. Okay. Gotta do that. Let's do 4. What's 4? Battlesmith. What is a battlesmith?
A battlesmith is a person who creates a steel defender, which is a sort of a magical automaton familiar.
That is literally what I did want to do.
Well,
all right, it's fine. I'm just not
yeah,
good at drawing robots, other than Billy. Oh, what were you gonna say, Ivy?
Artificer. I feel like I feel like artificer is probably like how it's actually pronounced, pal. But I've always pronounced it artificer.
That's fair.
Yeah. A steel defender is, from what I can tell,
okay.
Basically just a sort of like metallic, like golem-esque familiar that the artificer like builds.
Builds a little guy. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we have. Oh yeah.
The battlesmith's also a healer, like a support class, and can use their steel defender or things that they build to heal objects or creatures.
Okay, I'm getting an idea in my head. Wait, I'm getting an idea. Okay, I just have to roll one more die. No, I closed it. Okay. Okay. 5, gambler. That throws off my idea a bit.
Alright, so...
Okay. Well, that throws off part of my idea, which is funny. Because I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, I still have my... Okay, I have my idea. I'm just gonna have to reformat it.
What's the alignment, you said?
Neutral.
Just true neutral?
True neutral.
Awesome.
Okay. Alright. Okay, I will just... I know I already took a break. Before we start, I need to use the restroom. And I'm going to heat up some soup or something for myself, just before we start. Because I don't want to start drawing and then get in the middle of it, so I'd rather do it first.
That's fair.
I will be right back.
I will entertain chat. Anyways, chat, hits you with a fucking beam, hits you with beams, fucking explodes you, blows you up with my mind. I've never played an artificer character. I've never dodges. I would simply dodge. I've never made or played as an I've never made an artificer NPC, and I've never played as an artificer. Although technically, you could say that orc lady I talked about earlier, is an artificer, because that's what she does for her job. So this will be very interesting. I've got a sort of concept in mind already. That I'm sure you guys will quite like. I'm gonna crack open the backgrounds on D&D Beyond first, though, because I've never used the Gambler background, so I don't quite know what it describes it as. Alright. A few years ago, I had an alchemical artificer Aarakocra named Kiku? Kaiku? Could you spell that phonetically, Pal? My friend Pal grins. Kiku. That's so awesome. I love Arakakras, man. I have one more character that I haven't talked about that I want to play in my roster of characters that I really want to play. And the idea behind it is that he is a really, really gruff, like 40 to 50-year-old war veteran who did a lot of killing during the war, whatever war he was in, as a soldier, using the soldier background. He did a lot of killing as a soldier, and it's kind of guilted his conscience for most of his life. And so he has recently undertaken an oath to a god of life. I think I have Serenade in the notes from Pathfinder, because Serenade is in a lot of settings. But just any god or goddess of life, he has sworn a devotion to that god. And he's not a pacifist, but he spends most of his time now as a roaming healer, trying to make up for the mistakes of his past. And I kind of like to imagine him as Geralt from The Witcher, if Geralt cared about people like 30% more. In like looks and personality and like the sound of his voice and that sort of thing. You know what I mean? So that's a particular idea that I really want to toy with at some point. Oh, I'm looking at the fucking Gambler background on D&D Beyond, and it has a fucking Han Solo reference. It has a fucking Star Wars reference in it. Chat, do you want to know what the background feature of a Gambler is? Do you want to know what the background feature is called? The feature's called Never Tell Me the Odds. I'm so mad. I'm so fucking mad. Why is it called that? Come on, man. I'm also doing what I do now, where I have the background open, and I'm now taking some personality traits as general foundational stuff. Who make things for D&D of being nerds. I am accusing motherfuckers of being that. Can't be. D&D's not a game for nerds. It's mainstream now. Jocks play it. You can't. You can't be a nerd anymore in D&D. It's mainstream. Come on, get with the program. It's really fucking funny though. Star Wars is also mainstream. Fuck, you're right. Fuck, you're right. God damn it. I don't know, Jack. I don't know shit or fuck. Alright, I've kind of got a general concept so far of the stuff I've kind of grabbed. My idea so far is a gambler who has swindled, cheated, and defeated people so much that he tries to hide his face and identity as much as possible, and has also lost almost everything gambling, but is still absolutely convinced he's the luckiest motherfucker on the planet. So he keeps gambling because he's like, yeah, I succeed at everything. I'm so cool and awesome. Basically, he's got a hell of an ego. That's my general concept, at least. Chat, this is your reminder. These are the specs we're working with, and you can go ahead and follow along. You can put it to ripped cat art at the end. Hashtag ripped cat art. And it will be so cool, and you'll be so sexy and awesome, and you will be so based and cool and awesome if you do that. It's true. It's true. If you do that, everybody will think you're cool. But specifically me, I'll think you're cool. Hee hee. Ha ha hoo. Who's doing shit right now? I'm looking at Twitter while we're waiting for this. Wow, people really like my Turbo Mega Sloppy Sucks Lanesh style tweet, don't they? You're not getting context for that, by the way. You're just gonna have those words banging around your head like a fucking, like a rocket, like a brick in a washer. It's a good one. Atomization with the beam. Alright. Let's see here. I am still waiting for a message from my boss. I was supposed to... Hello? Welcome back?
Hi.
I know theoretically I wasn't supposed to start yet.
Oh, it's okay.
I don't know if you have the timer going.
No, I
but
didn't. It's okay.
I've got like a general foundation for the character that I'm pretty happy with. I like using the DnD like background stuff as a foundation for the character.
That makes sense.
And then expanding from there.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've got so far is
Mm-hmm.
a former noble of the House Braun, which means nothing. It's just his name is Bran of House Braun.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a swindler, a cheater, and a defeater, to the point where he can't show his face in public anymore.
Mm.
Because, you know, he's got such a bad fucking reputation. He has basically lost everything at gambling. That's why I say former noble, because he's been, like, disassociated from his house.
Mm-hmm.
However, and this makes him very stingy in everything he does. So everything he builds is very ramshackle, including his defender. However, despite all of that, he still thinks he is the luckiest motherfucker alive and he can't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Really bad, like infinite, like, feedback, infinite loop, like, feedback mindset that he's got going on here. He mainly just cares about survival.
Mm-hmm.
But he also thinks he's gonna win because he's so cool and awesome. You know, in his head.
So, okay. I have an idea forming. Let's see.
Yes.
I'm trying to... Hang on. Let me see if I can find any references. Okay. I don't know why when you said healer, it, like, stuck to me. But the idea that I'm going for is, what's the word? Is like a, it's like a nurse. When you said healer,
Yeah.
I thought of like a nurse. And so what I thought could work with that is, what's the word? She's just, I didn't mean to like make another like older person, but in my head I don't know. I just imagine nurses a lot of the time as just like grandmas. I don't know. I don't know if she's a
It's
grandma, but
real shit.
oh, why is my thing not working? Uh-oh, my thing's not working. Hello? Hang on, maybe adjust my stabilization. I'm gonna turn it down a little. Maybe it's my stabilization. But so yeah, the idea that I was having is like this nurse who what's the word? Who she was a really like extremely talented at her job. She was very smart, you know, she was this really, and she like she was doing well, you know, for for herself for years. And but you know how like grandmas really like bingo.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of like this thing of like she didn't actually like she oh, I never started the timer. I'm gonna put it on like ah! Like but so she had never like she didn't even like she didn't know what that was, and like one of her colleagues or whatever just like it because they're all like older nurses and whatever, and they're just like, you know, sweet, they're just, you know, sweet grandma nurses. And
Yeah.
they took her to her first bingo game, and she was like, oh, I love this, oh no, I really love this. And she got addicted to bingo.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, I'm trying to just um see, I could either do really serious or silly concepts, and this is like a silly one. But so like yeah, her thing is like she became like just really addicted to bingo to the point it affected her job, and she got like fired or whatever.
Yeah.
And and so what ended up happening is she realized the error of her ways, and she was like, damn, you know, I gotta get my life back on track. But because of the issues that she had, she wasn't really able to like get a job in any other practicing places and whatnot. And so I don't know, I just have this idea that like she started like learning about artificing, like, you know, making things. And
Because grandmas love crafts.
yeah, grandma's love crafting. And so it was like, what if she made a Battlesmith like service dog?
Awesome.
Like she had like one of those therapy service dogs, and like, sorry, my cat's yelling at me. Um, God, I don't know why I keep thinking of characters that like I don't draw a lot. I'm just thinking of this like really tiny grandma and this like this giant robot dog.
Awesome.
That's the idea I'm having for mine. This like tiny little grandma. I don't know, every time I think of a grandma, in my head, I just have this picture of the small woman with like the lines on the face where her lips are really, really thin, and then like she has those sort of little circle glasses. She's got like a little like a like long sleeve shirt and dress. And he's like, "Oh, you're such a dear," something like that. I don't know. That's every
Yeah.
grandma. That's like just every grandma. But yeah, it's my yeah. That's where I come. I was just like trying to figure out how to connect this together, because I just at first was just like, I have no idea how to connect this.
So fair.
Oh my god. I also am trying my best to just do very simple poses, because like I don't want to have to look up poses. I don't know, because at first before I got to the gambler thing, I was literally just gonna like make like a cool nurse character, and then I was like, shit, what the fuck am I gonna do with gambler?
Yeah. I feel like the intersection of weird backgrounds with weird classes is a very fun thing to do in D&D. And this is probably a method. What we're doing now, this is probably going to be a method that I use for NPC creation in the future, because I quite like it, actually.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, feel free to use the chart I made and whatever. But yeah, I tried to make it simple, but I know I really didn't make it that simple. Also, I'm gonna eat more. I made some ramen. Alright. Okay. Alright, now I have to, I mean, I guess draw a dog. I have to draw a really big fucking dog. Alright, what do dogs look like? I should know what a dog looks like. I draw cats so much, I forget how to draw a dog.
What the fuck do dogs look like? What the fuck's a dog?
See, let me, like a thing.
Dog like cat, but different. That's true. Thank you for the help.
Thank you, Bill. Alright, I'm just trying to look for a pose. There's no reference for this. Alright, we're gonna go for this funny little guy. And I'll be honest, I'm not the best at drawing. I could draw Billy, but I'm not the best at drawing robots otherwise, so like...
That's fair.
Let's be a scratch. Sorry, I thought I heard my cat throwing up, but no, she's playing in a box. I don't know, I just like, I heard that, I know that my other old cat I used to have, Sammy, I knew the sound of her, not to be gross, but like throwing up very well, just because she did it a lot.
Your brain was fucking hyper conditioned.
Well, because I was about to be like, oh my god,
throw up.
I was about to be like, oh, I'm gonna have to clean that, but no, she's fine. God, I feel like I'm just drawing this weird blob shape, and that's kind of what the dog is. But this weird blobby shape. Okay, I need to make this a different color. There we go. Oh my god, I also have been needing to, like, this is very off topic, I've been needing to, like, call one of my old jobs to get a W-2 because they've not fucking done it to me, and I called them, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to talk to HR, and it's like, cool, and then I called the HR, because they also, like, couldn't find the HR number, it took a minute, and then, like, when I called the HR, the thing was like, leave a voicemail, and I'm like, great, I just want to get it, they were supposed to send it to me. I hate doing taxes, but I just want to get it done with. Also, the only other thing I miss from living in Texas is, God, I got a lot more on my tax return. Sorry.
I still have to do my fucking taxes. I'm a contractor, so I'm technically self-employed. Which makes taxes a fucking nightmare.
Oh, I bet.
But it allows me to live by myself. In a 2-bedroom apartment, so I can't complain.
Ooh, nice. Alright. Oh my god, now I'm just, like, imagining this little granny just, like, riding on this dog.
We love dog mounts.
Oh my god, yeah. One of my, in the Warlock Paladin I played, one of the characters in that, he, you can, like, do Find Steed, and he specifically really wanted, like a Mastiff.
Yeah. Mastiffs kick ass, though. As, like, conceptually, as, like, a mount.
Well, the funny thing is, though, he's a half-orc and very big and tall.
fucking man,
Well,
just big fucking dog.
you fucking.
Like, your character's big, doesn't matter. Just increase the size of the dog.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of an orc riding a fucking that actually, I like that idea so much. I think I already implemented it actually in my setting, because the main tamed mount, in the on the continent of my world that the orcs primarily live on, the two tamed mounts in that area are not like griffins or hippogriffs or horses. The drow to the north ride tamed, domesticated giant moths.
Interesting.
And the orcs to the south use tamed wargs.
Ooh.
Which, in my setting, are pretty much what they are in Tolkien. Like, they're just basically like buffalo-sized dogs.
Nice. Big dog.
Love big dog.
A big dog.
As they should be, yeah. I also like to imagine that they domesticated several breeds of wargs. So I have described one of the wargs in my setting that I described in one of the short stories I wrote for it. I think was described as, I can't remember if I described him as pug-like or like bulldog-esque. But it was like either some kind of like bulldog or pug type warg that was just like lazily pulling along a carriage of soldiers. So basically imagine like a big, slightly fucked up looking like retro pug pulling along a cart. It was meant to be silly looking because I think because it's meant to get the reader off guard for a moment. Because the next thing that they see from this carriage is a troop of very hardened orc soldiers climbing out the back of it to inspect a courier from an enemy nation. So it's it was a whole setup thing. And also I just like the idea of a massive pug mount, like conceptually speaking.
Ramen.
You're so fine.
Wow. I like woke up this morning, like did not want, I don't know, I was not hungry, but I ate a Hot Pocket. And then later I ate some hot fries. And now I'm eating really, I'll try to keep putting them up today. I don't know. I just did not feel like doing anything.
That's so fair. I wanted to do a stir fry tonight, but then I realized I don't have the ingredients, and I don't want to go to the grocery store. So tonight I am eating yakisoba.
Oh, I fucking love yakisoba. It's so yummy.
We love yakisoba in this house.
I thought it was yakisoba.
It might be yakisoba. I have no fucking clue.
Okay.
I've been calling it yakisoba for my entire life. That might be wrong.
I think it's
Who fucking knows?
yakisoba.
You got it, Chief. I like how my talking sprite for this perfectly fits me saying "you got it, Chief."
I don't know. I feel like I put a lot of effort into the post for yours, and then for mine I was like, fuck it. I'm just blinking. I'm blinking. It's fine.
Fuck it, who cares?
What should I name the dog? That's an important question.
See, my first thought was a nonsense word like Gumbo.
Okay, Gumbo. I mean, okay, anytime I ask Billy to name anything, Billy's like, Scrungly, Jubbly,
Scrongo.
Blubbly. I mean, like, literally, that's every time, it's always what they suggest.
Stimpo? Yeah, no, Stimpo. I put in a lot of effort when it comes to naming shit in my fantasy setting. But as soon as I have to name anything for anything else, it's like, oh yeah, that's the character Gumpy. That's the character Schlumpo. That's the character Jib Bop. Just put random phonemes together. Who gives a shit?
Stimpo. I don't know why I said Stimpo. I was like, what?
Stimpo. Stimpo.
Yeah, excuse me. You know what? His name is his name is Goldie.
Awesome.
I don't know. The reference I'm using is like not a golden retriever, but it kind of looks like a dog has like golden fur. One more woman. Okay. Oh, shit. For her eye. I don't know. I feel like every sweet grandma has her eyes closed with her little glasses. I'm drawing that. Like, she has her eyes closed. Oh my god, how do you do that, like, grandma thing where it's like... I feel like it's like this. It's just a... Oh, perfect. I didn't even need to do that. But still a little more. Little sweet grandma. Sweet grandma, mama. Okay, what kind of hair should I give her? But I don't know. I also think it would be fun if I, like, gave her a nurse outfit. I don't know why. I just really wanted to draw a nurse outfit.
That's so fair. Oh, a nurse is always a fun concept. I love nurse or healer or medic type characters in D&D.
Battle nurse. Ooh. Sorry, I just see this, like, drawing of someone drawing, like, a field nurse, and it's, like, a cutesy outfit, but, like, there's plenty of armor, and it's just, like, it's chef kits. It's chef kits! You could do cutesy outfit and armor! That makes sense! You could do both! Alright, what kind of hair do it? What a grandma hair looks like. I don't know, okay, I feel like this is the grandma hair. Oh my god, it's... Let's go. It's playing Gen 3 Pokemon music. Playlist.
Awesome.
Alright, like, what was the original topic we were talking
about? I think I was talking about one of my NPCs that I turned into a nemesis, from being a generic villain.
Oh yeah.
Ming Ming the Goblin. Yeah, it was a very fun set of circumstances. They got really focused on clearing out the goblins from the farmhouse, so they left Ming Ming behind on a horse. They did an awesome job. Again, Nifty showed his fucking tactical brilliance. He stormed that house like a fucking SWAT team. He was a rogue, and he managed to fucking tank through tons of damage and kill like 3 goblins over the course of like 1.5 turns.
Damn.
It was crazy. He went apeshit bananas on those fucking goblins.
Fucking hog wild.
Yeah. They forgot to kill one of the goblins, if I remember correctly. And they routed the goblin basically. They're like, okay, you know, this one left. That's cool. Whatever. He's out. Kind of feel bad, cause I said that there wasn't anything on the ground floor, and one of my players did a really high investigation check, which is what it was supposed to find it, and I misread part of my notes. There was actually a safe that they were supposed to find, but they didn't, and they found it later, and he felt like shit, and I felt kind of bad about that. I didn't feel bad about the fact that the goblin who escaped let Ming Ming go off the horse, and they managed to call in support in the form of a troop of goblin soldiers and 2 wargs, which even for like 3 or 4 4th level characters, which they were starting at, very difficult fight. So they basically like barricaded up in the house and used it like a castle to fucking like throw spells down at the warg. And I think somebody drop kicked a warg from the roof, which was pretty cool. Yeah, but Ming Ming managed to escape. And throughout the rest of that campaign, I was like seeding rumors and like NPC dialogue and stuff. That Ming Ming was basically rising up the ranks of the Red Man Tide and was basically turning into like a refined general with a vendetta.
I see.
Because the goblin encounter was 2 goblins that Ming Ming came from. So the thing I wrote for it was that they killed his best friend.
Oh my god.
So he had a personal fucking vendetta against the party.
Uh-oh.
And the thing about Ming Ming was that he's not like a snivelly guy. He's snivelly in the sense that he's a bit like manipulative at first. But he's also like a distinguished villain. Like he used like a saber, like a fucking like fencing saber as his main weapon. So I was very excited to have that happen later on in the campaign. We never got around to it, but the return of Ming Ming was something that my players were greatly excited for.
Nice. Instead of drawing the little cross symbol, I'm just gonna do like a pill symbol because I don't want to violate the cheating convention.
Fair.
I honestly think I'm gonna use this like tactical nurse outfit as inspiration because I feel like it makes sense. A battlesmith words. A battlesmith nurse would be a tactical nurse.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of the outfit. Okay. That. Okay. I'm trying to think of what's the word? I know you literally said what the topic was. I already forgot it.
Well, the topic that we agreed on for today was NPC creation and like quests and stuff. Like talk about that sort of thing. So I guess my question for you is, what kind of quests? Because I know you're somewhat of a DM. I don't know if you DM more than you play or if you play more than you DM.
I play more than I DM.
But in your experience as a DM, what kind of quests do you like to make for your players?
I definitely like. I mean, I don't know. I definitely am a fan of combat and stuff, but I like, what's the word? I like little secrets. I like, even though I'm really bad at like, I like secrets and mysteries. I definitely like, giving them like, I like sometimes giving like certain difficult choices and senses and whatnot, or like, I don't know. I like tripping people up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's fun to do that, to like kind of be like a little fake out, to be like hee hee hoo. A little hee hee hoo.
We fucking love that. Do you like dungeon diving or like fetch quests, or what kind of thing do you like to send your players on?
You know what? I am gonna pull up. I made a bunch of quests for that campaign. I'm gonna like pull it up on, because I keep it all in like my Google Drive. Let me see. Where it's in here somewhere. Here we go. My DnD folder. Here we go. Here we go. So I mean, I'll say for mine, like, did I tell you about the setting of my campaign, or like what exactly?
I don't think you've fully walked me through it.
So like the setting basically is that that I don't know, I definitely was inspired, I'd say, because like I got into DnD also because of the Adventure Zone as well. But I really like the idea of like a huge guild that you work for and whatnot, because I think it's fun.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because I'm definitely someone that like I don't like having to worry about every little thing, and a big thing with characters is like having to worry about where you're staying, like stuff like that. And so I definitely want to like focus the campaign a bit more on like the story going on rather than having to focus on nitty-gritty details. So like with so they'd have like, so it's similar to like they're at a guild, and they like a lot of stuff is provided for them, and they have like classes and stuff. And they're essentially kind of like assigned into a group and whatnot to like go adventuring with.
Yeah.
And so let's see. The first quest I can actually, because I have all this written down. I found like a little form to write down all my information for it. So the first quest that I gave them was that they were delivering supplies to a very far off town in the continent. They were delivering supplies with the guild because, for background, this town had just kind of seceded itself from a country in this continent because they're like, fuck you, basically. Not necessarily fuck you, but like, they were just not happy with how things were in the country, and there were enough people over there, and there wasn't like enough like government in that area really for like the country to do much, because it was so far out, and like the area they lived in, those like those rocky shores, like those rocky it was basically like they lived in, it was a hard place to farm, it was a hard place to live, but like a lot of people liked it because it was very quiet out there, it was very removed from stuff. And so oh my god, I have to remember to draw and talk. But so yeah, so basically that was their thing, is they were going with a one of the NPCs, like, oh, I also, were you talking about NPCs or quests? Was the original thing you asked?
NPCs or quests.
Okay, this is both, basically.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I would do like random generators for NPCs that were not going to be there that often, but the funny thing is the guild was all run by NPCs, and some of them are characters I've actually played. Like one of them is because she played in like the second Tiamat campaign and ended up getting a Spine of Devarkhood, Spark of Divinehood, that's the word. And basically basically becoming like a demigod. She was literally like essentially like a demigod of nature because she followed Pan. And she was basically she wasn't a tabaxi, because I really should have realized I like cat people sooner, because I just made her a cat girl. But yeah, basically she was this cat girl demigod of nature. Her name was Luna, and that was who so yeah, I played her. She very much like, I just gave her like a very soft spoken, like a very like high pitched soft spoken voice. She was very much like, mom friend kind of person. She was very sweet. She that kind of thing. And she was going with the group to discuss essentially discuss what's the word? To discuss like, oh no, I've been drawing on the wrong layer. I'm gonna cry. I've been drawing on the wrong layer. It's fine. Alright, it's whatever. Fine, I'll just fix it at the end. But yeah, basically she oh my god. But yeah, so basically she had she was going with them partially to deliver the supplies, but to talk to the country, to be like, hey, calm down. Because this guild basically sat in one of the like in the countries, but kind of like in the middle of this continent. And she was basically like, because essentially they were looked at, like the guild itself was almost like a small country of itself, because essentially while it sat within one of the countries, it was meant to be kind of like a neutral ground for a lot of places and people. And so they were trying to like go over to the country and be like, hey, calm down, like why do you even want them to be a part of your country? Like, you obviously don't care about the state. Like, they're basically just doing like political shit and whatever.
Yeah.
And so like that was her whole purpose in there. And each another thing I forgot to mention, and with this guild, you essentially, to take classes, and this is like a special mechanic I did for the players, where you would choose a like essentially a skill point to focus on, either either strength, wisdom, charisma, constitution, intelligence, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And each essentially like faction within the guild was led by one of these NPCs I created. The Constitution was led by this half-orc barbarian. I never played him, I just designed, I made up for him. So funny thing, all of these characters are based off of my slice of life comic OCs that I made into D&D characters.
Oh, let's fucking go.
And yeah, that's basically what I wanted to do with them. And yeah, and so yeah, he's a half-orc barbarian. Oh my god, it's so hard for me to draw into. I'm God, what's the word? Oh my god, I'm trying to think. Oh my god. I want to talk about this, and also my brain's not focusing. Essentially, trying to think. The charisma one was a vampire elf bard.
Awesome.
He, let's see, the wisdom was Luna, because he's a player. The strength was a werewolf paladin. The dexterity was a Aasimar monk. I did play that character. I'm trying to remember. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. There's two more. Wait, there's, intelligence was a human wizard. And then I don't remember the last one. The last one is, what is the last one I'm forgetting? Did I say them all? Charisma, dexterity, strength, intelligence, wisdom. Yeah, okay, I did say them all. Sorry.
Yeah.
I did say them all. But so yeah, and so like that was a, yeah. And yeah, basically the character, the players could choose to be within a faction and essentially like level up certain things or learn skills or learn feats based on like the classes they took and like how well they did, which is like a fun thing. I even made like a whole like shop, basically like little market within the guild, and I made all these different types of markets. One of them I remember was like a meat shop, and I called it Chop and Slop.
Awesome.
Hang on, I'm trying to remember the. Hang on, let me see if I can find. Here is the. Here we go, merchants. I gave them all like interesting names. I tried to, I think, at least. Let's see. There's One Shop Stop, which is like a general store. Grind Our Gears, which I think was like the blacksmith store.
I fucking love that.
Weeds and Shit, I think, was the potion shop. Tada was like the magic store. Whisper Wind was like the music store. Goodwill was essentially, it's literally a thrift store. That's literally what it was.
Awesome.
Sewing Together was like a clothing store. Cracker Claw was, what was that one? That was, I think, like a fish and seafood related store. Sweet Treat was like a bakery. Chop and Slop was like the butcher. Green Farms, I think, was like a farming one, and then Paws and Claws was an animal shop.
Awesome.
Those were all really fun. Trying to think. So for the sub quest, essentially, or the quest, essentially what it was like I had the party, like, they delivered the supplies, and then essentially the embassy directed them, like, hey, just, if the town needs any help them out. You have rooms to stay in, but basically just, like, wait for me while, like, after I come back with this, like, meeting and whatever. And let's see. Try to pull up everything. Um, let's see. They met the like the mayor leader of the town. Her name Thalia. She what was it? Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were met by the town leader, and then the town leader explains to them that they can't find like the town doctor, and that she's like worried about, or that she's worried. And then I think the next day, what was it? She like comes and gets the party because she's like, oh no, like, oh yeah, the doctor was out gathering herbs for the leader's like sick child, and
Awesome.
I want to make this more detailed, but I'm running out of time, so like, I'm just. Ugh. I feel like I have the basic idea if I haven't worked on anything before. But I'm gonna make this fucking dog. Gotta finish this up. But so yeah, basically, I gotta try to think. I can either multitask a bunch of things or I can't multitask anything, and ugh, my brain.
God, I feel that.
But so yeah, and so then like it was a very simple thing where like they were just like, you know, having to find out stuff about, and they end up being directed to this like mini island where they essentially go fight a monster because it was a monster who had gotten the doctor, because the doctor went to this far off island that was off the shore to like gather these herbs essentially.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I almost forgot. Wait, I'm picking a robot dog, not a real dog. Oh no, I forgot I have to make a robot dog. Oh. Oh, I don't want to draw a robot. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Alright, for like, I guess I could do like this. Oh god, that looks scary. The dog is just staring into your soul.
The scariest the most evil of dogs.
But the goodest of boys. Oh my god, you know what? I'm giving the old Billy antenna because that's how I know it's a robot. Oh my god, I shouldn't have put Artificer on the list. I was like, I'm gonna get Artificer. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna have to draw a robot. I knew I was. I knew I was. What's the word? I think. I know there's this one murder mystery quest that I've reused even as like just like a one shot because it's pretty fun. I think. Oh my god, how do you make a robot dog? Oh my god, why are robots so complicated? Why can't they just be like Billy? We're gonna draw the construction and stuff. Yeah. I just said I already draw dog. Really big dog.
This motherfucker's a furry robot.
I can't include the fur even though I want to.
You cannot be a furry.
No wait.
You are disallowed for being a furry.
You're right. What if they had big like cheeks that were padded to make it feel soft while you cuddle them? I don't know. I feel like that's robot-y, you know. They would probably also have like a collar. I've trapped myself, and this is a hard design to do, but I also want to talk. Is there anything, I don't know, any other quests that you have done that you find particularly interesting?
Well, the big one that I always love to talk about is the werewolf quest I did. You know that orc lady I talked about earlier?
Mm-hmm.
her brother, father of a little orc girl,
Mm-hmm.
went missing after drinking a potion that he got from one of the guilds in the city.
Mhm.
And all they know is that the apartment got torn the fuck up, and that there was some kind of beast in there that took him. And so the players kind of went around the city to play places that he went to and people that he knew,
Mm-hmm.
following leads and stuff, and kind of learning that the local guild of Magitech was behind it in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
They learned from a lab tech wand slinger for the guild, like an alchemist wand slinger for the guild, who was just hanging out at one of the wand slinging courts and just doing his thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That the company had been knowingly selling potions that were like fucked, that were just not doing what they were supposed to do. And finally, they heard of a disturbance in a local alley, and they went to it, and found the guy there, the father. He was up on a fire escape, and there was blood and like weird fungal growths everywhere around him. And he kept trying to warn them, like, get back, like, don't come close, you know. And he transformed into a sort of like if you took a werewolf and like infected it with the infection from Last of Us kind of thing.
Oh.
And so
Mushroom.
werewolf mushroom guy. And so they fought this werewolf. They managed to restrain him without killing him. And they brought him back. They explained the situation to Liloma, who had been working for Magitech as a sort of like hangar tech kind of thing, because airships are a thing in this world. So she was basically an airship worker. And they figured out through talking with both Liloma and the information that they gathered that a specific type of herb that they had been using inside of the creation of a medicinal alchemic potion that he was using to treat injuries he got during the war had been corrupted somehow. I think I had it in my notes written down that it was like Wolf's Bane as a joke. But basically, they fucked up one of the ingredients, and it both caused like weird Fey-esque fungal growths to appear on people, and also to turn them into a lycanthrope.
Interesting.
So with this information, she quit her job, but was very upset because she was, you know, like she was actually the breadwinner for the household, because he couldn't do anything because he was disabled from his injuries and was being charged out the ass for these medicinal potions.
Yeah.
And obviously he wouldn't be able to work without his potions.
Yeah.
So they worked with the orc, the orc tavern owners to get her a job at the tavern that they stayed at.
Nice.
And also, because of all of this, that kind of furthered the sort of burgeoning romantic relationship between Liloma and Nifty's character Oliver.
Aww.
And I'm really proud of how I set up that mystery and how I handled like the resolution of that, because I did write like a bad outcome. Like I did prepare for like the bad outcome of they didn't do enough investigating and they didn't get enough like proof that the company guild had kind of did that. So they had they avoided that bad ending, which was awesome. And everybody kind of got a good ending. And they had recently met a local priest too. So, which the orc dad was kind of scared to go to the priests because some of the temples in the local area
Mhm.
didn't always accept orcs from across the peninsula because the religion of
Mhm.
the orc continent is kind of incompatible with the religion of the human continent.
Mhm.
But that priest was nice enough and really accepting, so they paired him up with that guy. So he was not only getting the healing he needed, but they were taken care of monetarily. And I'm actually really proud of my players for figuring all that out,
Aw.
because I didn't plan for most of that. They
Mhm.
they were just like quick thinkers.
That's good.
It was very awesome. It was very cool,
Um,
and and it would be so awesome.
it would be so awesome. It would be so cool. Oh my god, I want to finish this, but I don't like. Ugh. I am not a robot drawer. Okay. Um. I don't know. I'm just making up shapes from what I see other
Yeah,
people draw robots, and I don't know. I'm just making shapes. Shapes aren't real. Um. Oh, this is such good Pokemon music. Okay. Um, I think. There was another campaign I made. It was a smaller one, and like I don't know, I wasn't as happy with it. Also, because unfortunately, the person who was helping me, I was kind of code DMing mainly just because of health. It was mainly my story, but unfortunately, the person who was helping me code DM wasn't a great person. But I don't know, I'd love to like redo that campaign or something, or make it a longer one or something. I don't know. I also just basically for both campaigns, I turned my comic book characters into NPCs, and then I made them into like a story.
yeah, that's fair. No, I totally get that. Uh, I I kind of did the opposite, where I had NPCs I liked and I wanted to turn them into a story
Mm-hmm.
instead of taking characters from a story I liked and turning them into NPCs. Uh, which is how I got the characters of many, many, many of my short stories, Smiles and Grins. Uh, I'm having a fun time writing this backstory and this character's descriptions.
Okay, I'm gonna try to clean this a little bit, but just for the sake of time, I don't think I'll be able to color these. It might just be easier just to do sketching.
That's
You can
so
color
fair.
them later. I also am just very slow when it comes to art. I'm not the fastest drawer. Yeah, it's a cute little old lady with a severe bingo addiction. Um, I feel like her name would be. Hmm. Her name is Marigold. That's a that's a grandma name.
Marigold?
Yeah, that's her name, Marigold.
Hell yeah.
God, give her like tiny little bucket ass. Here, I need more. There we go. Look at this. Um, She has like little baby grandma hands and little baby grandma feet. You know those like really small grandmas and they just have like the tiniest little feet, the tiniest little hands.
Yeah. The tiniest of little things.
The tiniest of little things. I don't have any other things. See, I just end up, I don't know. I've been a player, like a player so much rather than a DM that I just don't have as many NPCs as you do. Let me think. I know that character I showed you earlier, Horseman. He had a boyfriend that was a cowboy. His name was Hector, and I think what was it? I think the DM originally just made him as just like an NPC, but the characters ended up flirting together, like literally just throughout the entire campaign. He had a cowboy boyfriend.
Wait, the horse guy had a cowboy boyfriend?
Yeah, I just thought it was funny, you know, Horseman had a cowboy. Lily!
Oh, we fucking love that. We
Lily!
fucking love that.
That's my friend Lily who got me into D&D. Lily played with when I played Horseman. Horseman was a fun character. I gave her a little flowery apron. She's a grandma. She's gotta be sweet. Lily. Here, Lily, here, meet the character I generated. Oh, fuck my timer. Well, I guess good thing I'm done. I'm just about done. Now, there's more I can refine, but that's, like, the basic concept. Lily, meet the human artificer battlesmith, who's lawful neutral. Or not neutral, sorry, the other one was lawful neutral. Who's just neutral. She's just here. She just exists. And her background is gambling. Basically her whole thing is that she, used to just be like a nurse for many years, and then she had never played bingo before. And then some of her other nurse friends, you know, they went and played bingo one time, and she got horribly addicted to bingo. To the point that she lost her job and, like, lost her license, and basically, like, was, you know, just, like, she was just down in the dumps about it. But then she started, getting into, like, tinkering and crafting, and she ended up, learning how to do, you know, artificer stuff. And so then she made a giant robot therapy dog. I don't know what kind of campaign she'd be in, but, like, I don't know. I imagine she's, like...
a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. She sees a group, she sees a group of people, and she's like, oh... I don't know. She's like, someone needs to take care of these guys.
Hell yeah.
But God forbid they take her to a bingo parlor.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. This was the one I had first, and then, the other one I had, I ended up getting a I keep getting neutral stuff. I got a rabbit folk rogue assassin. Oh yeah, and definitely feel free if you want with this, I'm about to do one more. If you want to do this, you can follow along and make your own guy. But yeah, I don't know, the story with this guy is that he's, like, a retired, like, he retired from, what's the word? Oh my god. He from a small town of Revifolk, he went to the big city to be, like, you know, a big time guy. But he got tired of being there, and he retired to his old town, and he basically now is, like, you know, he just kind of, like, he's still in the town, but he kind of lives off to the side. He helps teach the kids, you know, how to stab people, and, you know, how to do the flips and tricks, that kind of fun stuff. Alright, here, let me name.
We fucking love that.
I don't know what's in, Illinois.
My brain just thought Thimble as a name for some reason.
Ooh, that's a good name.
This guy seems like a thimble.
Thimble. Alright. Now we got one. What?
I've also got my character written out too, if you want to hear
Yeah. Go ahead.
So because I am doing this in the medium of writing, I don't have much visuals for you.
Yes.
I wrote out very extensive details on how he looks, but a lot of it was centered around his general personality. So we have got Cars of House Braun, a human from the northern areas of the world, very Nordic type guy. He is an ex-noble, in the sense that he used to be a noble with lots of money and lots of power, but his own pride, ego, and addiction to gambling caused him to fall out of the good graces of the people of his city, including his own family. Basically, he's overcome his gambling addiction with the help of let's see here. I've got his backstory here. During his youth, he was raised with his sister Adina to take over the ruling of the city of Wiederheim. Took up an artificer apprenticeship as a way for the family to expand their, for the noble family to expand their ventures into new tech that was arriving in the region. And as is expected of young boys of the House Braun, he was taught many of the games of the land, including a particular game, which is basically just dice. And this sparked a burgeoning gambling addiction in the young lord, which was fueled even more so by his need to be richer and more successful and outshine his sister, who he thought of as spiteful and spoiled. Over his teenage years, he slowly accrued more and more debt to people until finally he lost big in a game against a rival house, one of the top competitors to his family's seemingly concrete hold over the city's politics. His father, ashamed by this and the fact that his son would make such an embarrassment of his house, bailed him out, but then subsequently stripped him of titles, status, funds, and connection to his house and family. Which like all times this usually happens, sent Cars into a deep fucking spiral. Where he lost more and more and more until eventually he accrued debt to basically every single ruling body in the city and every single criminal organization in Wiederheim, and he gained a massive fucking bounty on his head for being a debt hopper. He has a jacket, like a sheepskin long jacket, with his family's crest on it, that was damaged as he fled, symbolizing his backstory, grins and smiles, and has since survived doing odd jobs, selling odd trinkets he makes, and stealing and scrapping any tech he can find. He was helped out of his burgeoning gambling addiction by a priest of order who took him in, and he looks up to. Nowadays, he constantly struggles with his addiction and tries to avoid games of any kind that he can find. This also leads to him avoiding alcohol and other things so that he can not be impaired in his judgment and eventually fall back into his old addiction. Let's see here. Primary outfit / armor he has. He's a very gruff looking man in his late 20s. Very scarred and dirty from many misadventures and the fact that he can't really afford a bath most of the time. He has a dueling scar on his face from when he was much younger, which, if you don't know, is just a thing that European nobles did for a while, where getting cut on your face during fencing in college was considered, like, getting a deep, like, fucked up scar on your face was considered honorable. He's got long hair tied back into a ponytail because he can't afford a haircut. And he tries his best to shave, but his face kind of looks like a mixture of like a short goatee that looks like a mixture of stubble and feral dirty forest man. To hide his identity most of the time, because he does have a bounty on his head in one of the biggest provinces. in one of the biggest in a big city. In a big city, he has a bounty on his head. He covers his face most of the time with a welding mask that has hastily scratched in ruins, in runes on the mask that connect him psychically to his steel defender. Fully covers his face. It's got one of those thin visors with blackened glass. But more importantly, he has mounted 2 branches on the top of it to give his mask a sort of deer-esque appearance.
Ooh.
And I kind of like to imagine that the runes kind of form a sort of shape that looks like a deer face on the bottom of his mask. He's got a long sheepskin coat. I'll send you a picture of what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Just think like one of those like frontier coats, I guess. Like Wild West cowboy coats, like looking like this.
Yeah.
Basically, it's full of pockets and areas for him to put his tools. The inside of his coat looks like a toolbox, basically.
Yeah.
Lots of small baubles that he used to use for cheating, but now he uses for other things. Lots of pockets and like channels and stuff in his coats that he used to like hide cards and dice and all sorts of shit for cheating. Back of his coat used to have the crest of his family, which if you can't tell, his family's based on a pre-existing noble family I had.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like a green and gold bee crest, but the portion of it was torn by a chasing animal.
Oh god.
And so he has patched up what he can with sort of off-color leather patches. But it definitely looks like an animal just like tore through the back of his coat.
Damn.
You could tell there was a crest there, but most of the middle of the crest is gone at this point. He could do that. His sleeves are built to do that thing where he kind of just like moves his hand out and like a tool comes up from his sleeves that he can use.
Nice.
Sort of like a hidden blade of kind. And his cuffs are also built in such a way that they are basically projectors that allow him to designate the targets for his defender or cast spells.
Ooh.
From the funny little things in his coat. The coat is frayed, it's grody, it's dirty. All of his shit, like his tools and his baubles, look like cheap and rusted and broken slightly. Because he does not have money to repair them with good stuff. And the back of his coat, the bottom back of his coat frays out a bit, and in my head, I'm imagining it looking a bit like a deer tail. He's got a little Nordic tunic under that, covered by a breastplate. The breastplate, it would be, in the case of if I was playing as this character, it would have one of the elemental resistance infusions, specifically for cold damage. But the breastplate is fastened by a triskelion. Which, hold on, do you know what a triskelion is?
No.
Okay, it's a type of, like, Norse symbol. So a triskelion brooch that kind of looks like this. And he uses it to store all of his, like...
I see.
Yeah, he stores all of his major big boy spells in there.
Big boy spells.
Yeah, when he's casting powerful spells, he grabs the triskelion, turns it to select whatever spell he wants, and then projects it right out of that thing. He's also got a belt full of healing and sewing supplies, along with like nails and nuts and bolts and weights and bearings and shit. There's lots of parts on him. He kind of... I feel like if you pulled his coat out, he would look a bit like a pack animal because he has to carry everything that he needs to live with him.
Yeah.
If you can't tell, he's a bit of a homeless bum. He's a bit of a homeless guy. Thick wool trousers bunched up around the knee. Deep pockets. Left knee has a patch on it. Uh, he's got heeled cavalry boots. They're very muddy and gross. Brown boots with black soles. I imagine the front of the soles will be split down the middle, for traction purposes, and also to keep with the deer theme and make it look a bit more like his boots are hooves.
These fucking hooves.
Spurs on the back of his boots that act as projectors for any feet or leg related magic. And the spurs would look like dew claw on a deer. Left boot has a knife, that sort of thing. The boots are also enchanted with the Winding Path infusion in my concept of this character, which allows the Artificer to teleport 15 feet on their turn, every turn.
Damn.
It's only a 6th level infusion, believe it or not. His main weapon is a hatchet he keeps with him that he got when he was a child, inscribed with the motto of his house, guarding the north. It's a hard spruce handle with a steel runic blade. Pommel of the shaft has like a doe head carved into it. And it would, in my concept of this character, have the returning infusion, which allows a weapon to return to a person's hand after they throw it. And finally, his defender, the most important part, I'm imagining is a ramshackle, dirty, muddy, rusted, like, it's made out of like plates and springs and shit that looks like it was bolted together using scrap metal. I think it's meant in my head to look like a worker bee, with green and gold paint that's like chipped to reveal the color of the metal underneath. But due to the fact that he built it broke, and it has parts that he can't replace inside of its mechanism, it can't fly. It's stuck on the ground. It has a little projector inside of its mandibles that it uses for the arcane jolt stuff. It can repair shit with that, and it can also attack things with force, which I have written flavored in here would be flavored like it's deconstructing things with its mouth.
Look at that.
And I like to think that he calls it either Lady Elizabeth Buzzington III or just Buzzington as a bit. I kind of imagine he would be sort of a bit like a Han Solo character, like a rogue with a heart of gold. But also not in the sense that he's trying to avoid any and all, like, criminal activities so that he can curb his addiction. I feel like if I were to play this character, portraying his addiction realistically would be one of the things I would, like, try to do as best I could.
Oh, go ahead.
Grins and Smiles. That's Cars of the North, or Cars of House Braun.
Cars of the North. I drew fan art of the little bee walking, and they have a knife. Yeah, I imagine the bee would probably look a bit scary, but also look a bit silly goofy in the fact that it looks like it's made out of, like, if somebody took apart, like, a few different, like, if somebody took apart, like, a few dirt bikes and, like, ramshackled them together into the shape of a bee, you know what I mean? Yeah. Here's the bee in the corner.
Grins and Smiles. There he is.
That was very descriptive, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have visuals for it, so I have to spend as much time as I can describing him.
You're good. Alright, we will do the last one. Just a reminder, if you want to follow along, you can. If not, that's okay. But
if you want to follow along, you can go to crouton.net.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Don't go there. Okay, so now we gotta do our last roll. Alright, so once again, 1 and 6 we've already done. So stop giving me 1 and 6!
Hold on. Do you want me to roll it?
Hang on, I'm gonna try this. 3. Okay.
Real shit.
3 is... Oh my god. 3 is dwarf. Nope, that's not that.
Okay, so we got a dwarf.
Dwarf. Oh yeah, we gotta do subclass for the 4th. So there's 4 for dwarf. Here. Common. Lineages for dwarf. Yeah, I think there was 4 for dwarf, so now we gotta do... Gotta roll 84. Alright. 1. That is a hill dwarf.
Awesome.
Okay. Next we got classes. 1 and 10 have already been done. So... Ranger. Why do we keep getting numbers so close to each other?
Lol?
I guess that one Hill Dwarf though goes well together.
Yeah, what kind of ranger are we talking about here?
Alright, for Ranger we have 8 options.
Yay.
So... And what look away. 4.
They're all vastly different too.
Okay. So we get that
You
one.
got 4?
Alright, we go to Ranger.
I think that's Gloomstalker.
Yep. Gloomstalker Conclave. Okay. Gloom. Let me sort that. Okay. And then we're gonna go to backgrounds. Background. Maybe backgrounds is higher up. Backgrounds. Okay. So now for background. Oh no, wait, alignment. My bad, I almost forgot that one. Alignment is 9.
You forgot it!
I forgot. Okay.
How fucking could you?
3. Chaotic good. Okay, finally not neutral anymore.
Lol?
Alright, and then the last one will also be a D8. We can't do 1 or 5. Noble. Okay, interesting.
Awesome.
Alright, so we have a Noble Hill Dwarf, Gloomstalker Ranger, and his Chaotic Good. This is gonna take me a minute to think. God, alright, alright, before I start, I'm gonna just look at Gloomstalker, just so I have an idea of it. Let's see. Gloomstalker. Okay, so definitely, like, you're a sneaky little guy.
Yeah. I think it's... The gist of it is rangers who stalk the darkest places of the world. Like all of the evil places of the world, like the Underdark, the deep places in primeval forests, the gloomy alleyways of cities. Stalkers of the darkness, basically.
Just checking. Let's checking also Ranger stuff, because I'm just trying to remember the Ranger stuff. Let's see. I've not played a Ranger in a really long time. So.
Dude, Planewalker Ranger Dragonborn sounds very fucking fun.
Ooh, what's Planewalker?
Are you thinking of Horizon Walker, pal? Because there's one called Horizon Walker, which, yeah. Horizon Walkers are basically rangers which are guard against, like, other, like, extraplanar threats.
Oh my god, I'm not sure. Okay. Hill Dwarf. Hmm. Alright, I don't know. Let me look up. I'm gonna just like look up images people have made. That's usually what I do for my ideas. For inspiration, as I'm just like looking at. I don't know where to go with it. I'm trying to remember.
She specialized in atmospheric phenomena.
Ooh.
Hey pal! Hey pal! Hey pal! Is this character in any way related to wild magic? Because if not, you have a... I love this about you, but your fascination with the weather... I could see her fascination with the weather bleeding into this character, regardless.
I don't know what to go for this one.
Grids and smiles.
I feel like this is a simple character to do, but honestly, I'm like, I'm trying to think.
Well, I've basically gone full Batman.
Oh yeah, and Noble too.
Yeah, I mean Noble, just as Gambler, doesn't imply the entirety of a character's backstory. Noble doesn't imply the entirety of the backstory. Plus, it doesn't have to be noble in the sense of like you come from like a Game of Thrones-esque house. It could be you come from an important tribe or an important dynasty or a family of merchants who are akin to nobility.
God, I'm like, I don't know why I'm drawing. I don't know why I'm drawing nothing.
Hal grins and smiles at that.
Lum ring a bell? What's Lum?
If I recall correctly, I'm very bad at recalling people's OCs. Lum is one of the characters in Pal's OC verse, Wild Magic.
Ooh.
If I recall correctly. Again, I apologize, Pal. I am very, very bad at recalling OCs in general. My memory's stinky poopy. Listen, I have brain damage. You can't get mad at me. I don't have brain damage. But fun fact about me, Jace.
What?
Have I told you I can't smell?
No.
Like I don't have a sense of smell.
Was that?
I don't have a sense of smell.
Was that before COVID?
I was born like that.
Oh.
And the reason I'm like that is because I am missing key nerves in my brain.
Interesting.
That allow me to smell. That like the nerves that would normally allow you to smell, I do not have.
Interesting.
But because those nerves in that part of the brain that handles smell, is also really tied to memory.
Oh no.
That means that combined with my ADHD means that I have really, really bad memory. Like physically. Like on a neuro psychological level. I just have terrible memory.
Yeah.
Which is so cool that I was gifted with that. Lum is a weather scientist to mentor to one of my... See, that's what I thought, pal. I just didn't want to make the wrong guess and feel so bad about not remembering your OCs. Yeah. So I have terrible, terrible memory. Like biologically.
That's fair. I mean, I have a bad memory because of ADHD. And
yeah, that by itself sucks.
And then, waves my hands, trauma.
Real shit.
So
Shaking
yeah,
your hand.
I literally just, like, I don't know, I I put everything in my calendar, even though I work the same days always now. I just put everything in my calendar because I don't know, you never know. I might just forget. I have to write things that I have to write things down constantly, especially like what's the word? Even just like talking to like remember it's like I know what I want to say sometimes or like what thoughts are in my head, but I don't know how to get them out of my head, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Um I don't know what I'm doing. I generally don't know what I want for this character. The only thing I have in mind is just literally just some like um some character who's just like who's just kind of like an edgy asshole.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of how to fit chaotic good or something. Alright, let me finish shortening the bottom a bit. Just trying to think. God, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank for. I can normally think of something, but all I can think of is the design. I can't think of like much else.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. Sorry, I just saw someone's Gloomstalk Ranger who just like who just has like one of those like short crossbow things, and it's in my opinion it's basically looks like a D&D gun. It's just a gun. It's just a silly little gun.
At that point, I would just give the character a gun. I love fantasy guns so fucking much. It's why I love the fucking Legends of Vox Machina so much.
One of my friends that I would play with, he he made a character. It was in the same campaign I played Horseman. He made a character who Karl Marx, but a gunslinger.
Oh my god.
It was kind of funny. Yeah. Let's see. God, the hand I drew, I'm gonna draw him holding this, like, gun thing, but I feel like the way I drew it right now, it just looks like he's going, like, one.
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 One!
Oh, I don't know why that scared me! You were so quiet, and then you, like, perked up, and that scared me a little.
One!
Oh my god. I don't know, God, I really have a cat. I'm very jumpy.
This motherfucker is just like a cat.
I don't know. What's it? I feel like I should have realized so many things sooner about me, because like I should have realized I was trans sooner. I should have realized I was like a fucking cat boy sooner. I made myself a persona in college, but I was in denial. I was like, no, this is just a funny little guy. It's fine. It's
shit.
fine. It's fine.
I had the benefit of knowing I was trans very, very young, but the disadvantage of not being able to do anything about it.
No.
But I'm fucking out and proud right now. I came out socially, and I transitioned socially and medically as soon as I turned 18.
Nice.
Because I was the only person in my family with like a sustainable job, so there was nothing like if my family kicked me out, they would lose income. But I do realize that I had a sort of somewhat privilege because of that, you know. Yeah, but I feel you on that.
Go ahead.
No, there's nothing. I'm just making noises with my mouth at this point.
What was it? God, another thing is like I'm also in like a weird area with like when I make so many characters and whatnot to play, um, I'm always in this weird thing of like I love playing like, you know, I love playing queer men and whatnot, and see, the thing is, I, you know, for myself want to have body parts I don't have.
Yes.
But it's also conflicting because then but I also like playing trans characters. Now, obviously, you can play characters in especially magic settings who can just, you know, transition as much as they want, really, and I've done that.
Yes.
But it's also a thing of just like, I don't know. I do it sometimes and then I don't do it other times, but it's also just like, because obviously, like, being trans is different for every person, and just for me personally, like, I want my characters, like, obviously to, like, you know, certain ones, like, be out and proud and stuff, but also, like, what, oh my god, I forgot the timer again! God damn it! I, see, this is, this is my ADHD.
Real shit.
But, like, God, what's the word? Oh my god, I can't think. Ugh, you know what I mean. I, I want them to have a
I get what you're
penis.
saying.
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. I have a different philosophy about it.
But that's just for
I
myself,
have,
personally.
yeah. No, and honestly, you know, I can't. There's nothing I could say about that because, like, other than that's awesome, and expressing yourself through D&D is an admirable impulse, which I also do. Uh, I have some trans femme characters, uh, who I primarily use to kind of write a body similar to mine in a way that I can clearly describe said character as beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it's sort of an exploration of like getting comfortable with because you know I have dysphoria. Like that's an obvious thing. Like lots and lots and lots of trans people have dysphoria, obviously. Yeah. But because I've been transitioned so long, I mean, I've been socially out for like, I'm doing math in my head here, like 5 years, something like that. And I've had lots of in-person friends and lots of I get this might be a bit TMI, but lots of in-person lovers, you know.
Whoa.
Lots of people who have seen my body, and they've thought of me as an attractive person, despite the qualities of myself that I don't quite feel are congruent with the mental image that my brain wants to project. And that combined with some serious self-introspection and effort I've done into when I create characters who are trans femme and have bodies similar to mine, being conscientious of the way I describe them and thusly the way I describe myself, has seriously helped me curb a lot of my dysphoria. It's helped me come to accept the body that I inhabit as my body, as a body that makes me happy.
Oh yeah.
Which, not something everybody could do, obviously.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's one of the best parts about D&D and about writing, especially in a fantasy setting, you know? Is you can explore bodies that are different, bodies that are the same. I don't write smut. But I've also been told that can be very helpful.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Obviously, not implying anybody in chat should do anything about it. Obviously, everybody has different self-images, and everybody has different healthy coping coping and or methods of what's the word for it? I guess kind of sort of therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just my method. That's the one that makes me comfortable, and that's one of the reasons I love D&D. So I'm shaking your hand.
Yeah. One of my characters, I I specifically like he. It's not something he mentions, but it might be brought up later. If I don't know if I play this character again, but like um, I could tell you out of the stream just because it would be a spoiler for something for like a
Well,
campaign, but basically like he also he discovered when he was young and he was able to transition because oh shit, what did I do? Oh no, I closed. Okay, sorry, I thought I closed him. But oh yeah, he was able to transition when he was pretty young because his parents were well off enough essentially that they were able to hire magic for it. And so I thought it would be cool to have like magic top surgery scars essentially.
yeah.
Like, cause I thought that would be, I like, cause the DM even said like, if you're not you don't have to like, if you just want the character to be completely like still, that's when I was like, no, but like, I want a thing of like, it's not something that'll be like brought up, but like maybe later if he ever feels, I don't know, cause he's also just not a super open person in general, so that is
Yeah.
part of it, um, but yeah, um. And so, like, I don't know. I think magic top surgery scars are pretty fucking cool.
They're so awesome. I Transformation potions are a thing in almost every D&D setting, so I just said fuck it. Transformation potions are HRT now.
Let's go. I yeah. Go ahead.
Nah, that's it. It's just I heart transformation potions.
Yeah, what's the word? See, it's also a funny thing because the joke I like to make is that I was just born with the wrong type of chest because I'm not opposed to men with chests is what I'll say.
Lol.
I think more men should press booble. um, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But so yeah, I don't know. It's funny because like I give characters top surgery, but then I make them breast boobly in a different way.
We are here for breasting boobly guys with no boobs.
Exact. Oh no! You hang on. You don't, you misunderstand. Hang on, I'm about to show you something.
Okay.
Oh my god. Ah, what is it? I think you misunderstand. Hang on, I'm gonna type this real quick.
Okay.
On here. I think you misunderstand. They're still gonna,
Lol?
they're still gonna like you misunderstand. No. They're gonna breast boobily, but just differently.
Yes, I get it now.
Or like
I
here,
understand.
like, but like I like if you get this, like
Yes.
yeah. So anyway, anyway, um,
I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it.
ah, okay. But yeah, anyway, oh, context. But yeah, anyway, um, it's kind of why I also draw myself the way that I do because it's like I said, breast boob, but just a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also never draw feet. I always just draw them in the shoes because I hate drawing feet. I hate feet in general. This is an anti-shout out to feet. I fucking hate feet.
Feet suck.
They do. Now, funny little paws are fine, but human feet, disgusting. I never want to see them. Even mine, I hate them. But, no other point to that I just don't like feet.
Describing a ranger is much fucking easier than describing an artificer. Oh my god.
Yeah. Me. Oh, I'm being so lazy with these hands. Just not what a hit looks like. Yeah, because yeah, I always kind of just draw men still, no matter what. Breast ranger got a bow and sometimes animals. That is true. They do sometimes have animals. I literally just defaulted to like one of the types of characters I like making because I did not know what to draw for this guy.
Real shit.
I also, mainly because I have them myself, but I fucking love lip piercings. I have them, and I love them.
We fucking love piercings.
I just like, I don't know, I think it's fun. I think it's fun and cool and silly. Also, something I love is like, I used to draw eyes in like such a structured way, and now I've let myself kind of just draw eyes however I feel like it. And that's really fun.
I'm fucking here for it.
Because I used to be, it was very much like a, what's the word, like an anime thing of like, when I learned how to draw eyes, I learned how to draw them in anime style, and it's like, you have to always draw them like this. And it's like, no, I'll just draw them however. Like, you have very big cartoony eyes. You got big old peepers. I have little tiny humanoid eyes. Oh, I gotta give him a fucking eyeball. Ooh, this song goes off. Alright, what kind of fucking hair do I go for? You know what? I want to make this eye a little smaller. This, the tiniest one. There we go. Oh, what kind of hair do I go for? Look at some dwarven hairstyles. Hmm. Man, come on, I want a funky, funny, silly hairstyle.
We love funky, silly hairstyles.
Yes, we do love funny, silly, goofy hairstyles. He has a little baby dwarf beard. He's an adult, but he's like, I don't know. I imagine this guy still being a bit young. He has a little baby dwarf beard.
We love baby dwarf beards. God, I so badly want to give him a fucking calic. I give everyone. I fucking love drawing calics. I have one. I mean, the funny thing is, I have like a big ass calic in real life. I just push it down usually. Oh, I fucking feel you. I've got like a Superman curl.
Ooh. Alright, he's got a little baby ponytail.
Oh, my mom is calling me. Give me one moment.
Okay. Hi, Mom. Everyone say hi, Happy's mom. Okay, I like how this haircut looks. Oops. You know what? I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Right, now we'll draw some funny clothes. I really need to get a new mouse. Mouse is being poo-poo when it keeps getting stuck. Alright, finish up. Sippy time. Okay, sippy. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, I gotta figure out an outfit. I know I said I was gonna draw a crossbow. I'm not. I'm not gonna draw a crossbow. It's fine. I need a funny, silly outfit. I need like funny, silly, goofy, edgy outfit. Like. If you don't know what to do, just give the poofy pants things and the little boot. Because that's what I do. Is this on the... Alright, thank God I'm drawing it on the right fucking layers. Ugh. There. Oh, my roommate. Not my roommates. Sorry, my downstairs neighbors are being loud again. I can hear them. Ooh, I like this outfit. Roll for stuff. Why would you do that? Why would you eat them? Why? They're not flavored. Ooh, okay, I like this outfit. Sorry, keep it straight. Like this fucking prawn cheese. Well, I mean, chips exist. Why would you fucking do that? Ooh, I kinda like this cool. The spacey ones? I mean, that is true. They do taste like that. I am insane, and every time, like, I do new campaigns, if I don't know her alone, I do type new characters, because I'm crazy. Because I'm silly. my desk right now are for my Paladin Warlock character when I played IRL. They are purple and green. Oh my god, excuse me. Fucking purple and fucking green. God, I love the stupid pose I gave him. Hmm. Hmm. He has one arm Nikki and one arm not. I don't know what so I had to put on this arm though. I'll just do that. I don't know fucking know what I'm doing. Like weird. I don't know how to ever do leather bracelets. I just draw them like that because it's easier. Hmm. One of the outfits I'm referencing is kind of like skin tight fucking shit. I love to think how this guy's a gloom star. Because all I'm thinking of right now is this guy who's just like, I'm the fucking guy. He's just like, I'm the fucking guy. I'm the dude. I'm so good. I'm so cool. But he feels like it'd be too loud to be a gloom stalker. I don't know. I don't think. I can't think of what else to do to this outfit. Oh, you know what I could do over here? I could do the whole, like, arm guard thing that, like, a lot of times users have. Here, let me put this in a new tab. Let me look at... Ah, there we go. Like, this kind of thing. It's like... I miss Ivy. Ivy, come back. I miss you. Oh, damn it.
Whew.
Ah!
I am back.
Sorry. Sorry, scream. Oh my god, I am so jumpy.
I had a very serious anxiety-inducing call with my mom.
Oh, I'm
so
sorry.
That's fine. It was anxiety-inducing because I had to tell her about a thing that I've been holding back on telling her for a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's catharsis. It's good to have it off my chest. I can't fully expect her to not be weird about this. I can't fully expect anybody in my family to not be weird about this. And it's too dour to talk about on stream, but needless to say, I feel like I got punched in the gut a bit, but I'm back and I'm writing my little fucking dwarf guy. Little fucking pseudo Batman I've got here.
I will say, I feel you. I don't know. I take anxiety medication, so I'm not as anxious anymore. And, like, thankfully I don't get panic attacks and stuff anymore, but, like, what's the word? I'm still very much a person that if, like, I experienced similar things that, like, destroyed me years ago, then my brain is, like, starts screaming at me, and I'm like, it's fine, we're okay, it's fine, you can calm down, we know how to handle this, but then, like, the 5-year-old part of my brain is like, everything is wrong, everything is exploding, you're exploding, and that's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
This is how it feels.
When you explode, and you explode, and you explode, and you explode.
When you explode. It's definitely one reason I kind of took a break from, streaming a little bit and stuff, because also, my anxieties were being very poopy, and I was just like, I'm exploding, and I'm exploding, and I'm exploding, and that's all it is. But, I don't know. I'm trying to do more fun things now for streaming, so that, like, you know, I want it to also just be a fun thing for me to do, so that I can have fun. Like this, like, I actually, because, the art group thing, made me think of this idea, and so, I'm glad I'm doing it in here, and I love making funny little guys. Okay, the timer has 13 minutes. I feel like I've actually got, I still don't have, like, any information about this guy. I just know what he looks like. That's it, I still don't know anything. How about it? Arrows. I don't know how to draw arrows. I'm gonna draw his fucking shoes. You know, you can't go wrong with a fucking boot. Beep, 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 beep. Can't go wrong with the fucking boot. Ow, what's my thing? God, I feel like boots are like what I mainly just know how to draw, because it's what I end up drawing a lot of the time. Ah! God damn it.
Oh boy, I opened a fucking can of worms.
What, with your character?
Nah, with my mom.
Oh.
That's it. I've been texting her. Yeah, I've got a pretty good. I've got a good backstory. I've got a good appearance that I think I've settled on. I'm feeling pretty good on this character.
All right, I'm gonna just clean, because I have the time. I'm gonna just clean this guy up a little bit. I'm gonna sit and think for a little bit of some background information because I genuinely don't know what. I don't know. I gotta think of something for this guy. Hmm. See. Okay. Alright. Latin. Do that. Do that. Do that. Alright, what am I gonna do with this guy? What is this thing? Why is this guy like this?
I love this motherfucker so much.
He's this little snarky guy. His name.
This motherfucker rocks. You wanna know my tried and true method for naming dwarves? Give first name. Give him some kind of German or Slavic first name. And then do a verb noun structure for the last name. In the case of my guy, his name is Urist Fellchapel.
I mean, you're talking to someone who doesn't know what any of that means.
Okay.
It's okay, it's fine. I am gonna name him Slate. No, I'm gonna name him Slate, like The Rock. His name is Slate.
Slate?
He slays. Who is this guy?
Is he breast boobily?
Yeah, just he under his arm, you know.
Hell yeah.
He had like I can't make all my characters just have a titty window. I can't do it all.
Yeah, you can.
I mean, yeah, I can, but but that's...
There is nothing stopping you from giving all of your characters a titty window.
Alright. There's his titty window. It's covered up by the arrows on his back.
The best part about it is that it makes this armor functionally useless.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, if it helps, his part of his arm and his boob is out, like, right here. Like, this area.
Yeah.
What is this? This guy's name is Slate. He, this guy's name is Slate. Ooh, okay. I was about to say, okay, you know what? If you don't know what to do, it never fails to give him a really tragic backstory.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think his whole deal was he came from like he came from like the most powerful family of dwarves in the like city that he lived in, and they like kind of ran the town's what do you call it? Oh my god, I'm trying to think of the word. Like I guess what the route I'm going with is like Gloomstalk or Ranger was kind of his trade that he grew up with. Like it was it was ingrained in his family, and it was what he was taught from younger, and so like he knows how to do it and whatnot. It wasn't necessarily what he sought out to do. But then we can kind of make it tragic by like he on one of his maybe missions he fudged up, and a bunch of fucked up evil people, he accidentally led a bunch of fucked up evil people to his town, and they killed everyone in the town and only left him, and now he just has to live with that trauma forever, and live with the guilt of accidentally doing that.
Oh.
So that's his backstory, and it's noble because yeah, they were probably the the wealthiest, like, biggest family in that town, city.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that's his story.
If you would like, I can run you through my little
Of course.
Shakes him around.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got some stuff here. Mm-hmm. I didn't use the D&D stuff as basis this time, but I did use the same general setup.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy who's constantly smiling. And his main philosophy in life is that a smile can disarm any foe of any size.
Mm-hmm.
feels at home in really small and cramped spaces from years of hunting things underground. He believes that the poorest in society deserve the most help, and that his fellow nobles have earned nothing. And his main belief in life is that evil fears good for its power, and that he will embody that in its most primal and chaotic form.
Hell yeah!
He feels obligated to protect those beneath his station and lift them up to his level. Everything he does is to help the quote unquote small folk. His loyalty to his people is unwavering. But unfortunately, he's a bit insecure, and nothing is more important to him than the opinions of the common folk of his realm. He also carries a scandalous secret with him that will bring shame to his family if released. He's got a wide smile, his face is round and inviting, but it can turn on a dime into the most intimidating fucking Batman glare you've ever seen. He's got a close-cut, like, shaved head sort of thing, with bushy eyebrows, and a long, braided black beard, braided with golden, like, braided with golden rings in it.
Black.
Leather armor, black hood with blue accents, mostly black armor with blue accents. A gambeson with leather breastplate-esque style covering. A metal gorget. I don't know if you know what that is, but a gorget. He's got 2 cases of bolts, one of which is silver-tipped, and the other one is steel-tipped. That are kind of on his lower back, but aren't stacked up on each other. It's like they're a different bolt pokes out of different sides of his waist. He's got a black cape. His main weapon is a folding compound crossbow, like a heavy folding compound crossbow. It's got a nice folding wooden stock, nice compound metal arms, and it's got an incredibly powerful steel string on it. Cleated boots for traction, throwing darts on his gloves and boots. He's got metal plates on his gloves to enhance his strikes. And for a melee weapon, he has a heavy hammer, like a war hammer, with a collapsible handle. Time for gunk!
Oh, that's my uncle. Hi, Mr. Gunk. Hi, Mr. Gunk. You're good. Thank you for the subscription.
Yeah, sledgehammer, collapsible handle. It's one of the heads is spiked, the other one is a wedge, and he stores it between his crossbow bolt cases on his back. Basic backstory: his noble house was a militant ranger household which beat back hordes of monsters and was dedicated to protecting the realm. He was trained in many martial combat arts and many facets of nobility in his youth. And during his coming of age ceremony, he swore to fight the endless monstrosities that filled the Underdark and keep his people safe.
Yeah.
But upon his first hunt, he realized that his house wasn't quite what it seemed. That his noble house that had dedicated itself to protecting the realm, was actually responsible for most, if not all, of the monsters that attack the realm.
Ooh.
And that the deepest and most powerful of his house were not just rangers, but powerful evil archdruids that were assembling these monstrosities out of dead citizens and various other Underdark inhabitants.
Ooh.
And they were doing this to artificially create the need for the house so that they could retain power and also basically plunder the citizens of all of their worth and keep a sort of despotic rule over the people of his underground home.
Holy shit.
Absolutely disgusted by this and the obvious flagrant disregard for the health of the common folk, he began to lead a sort of double life. On the surface, he continued his regular hunts, while also killing many of the beasts. On the surface, he continued his regular hunts, But beneath those regular hunts that he took with the people of his house, he spent time going out on his own and killing as many of these beasts that he could find before they were ever released into the wild.
Let's go.
Nearly single-handedly crippling his house's grasp on the people of his hometown. But before he could finish the job, he found evidence that suggested that the archdruids of his house weren't actually operating by themselves, but operating as part of a larger conspiracy. And so now he has ventured out into the world to find the root of this conspiracy, and not only save the people of his mountain home, but also the people of the Underdark and material plane in general from this monstrous conspiracy that he has uncovered.
That's fucking cool. God damn.
This is just Batman. I just made Batman.
I mean, yeah, but that's really fucking cool, though.
I mean, Batman with a different backstory, but like, I'm having a good time. The collapsible sledgehammer is my favorite part about the character.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, for real, I really like that one. I do think with that, though, I am going to end stream, as, that was a lot of drawing and thinking. And,
that was a lot of what?
A lot of drawing and thinking in my brain. Blah, blah, blah.
Real shit.
Here, I'm gonna go over to ending. I will make sure I do a shout out to IVGM. Oh fuck, I put Icy. No, it's the wrong person. No!
ICGM.
No, wrong person.
Twitch.tv/ICGM. Is that a real account?
I guess so. There we go.
That account not only exists.
What?
I have gone to the page for it. Go follow me.
But yeah, follow Ivy. No, I didn't see any art in the Ripcapped art, so it is okay. I'm gonna. Who am I gonna? What?
Raid someone?
Yeah, I'm looking at. Oh, I'm gonna raid my friend. I can't talk anymore. Sorry, I'm gonna raid my friend Ellie, cause she's streaming right now.
We fucking enough of that. Let's go raid. What should the raid phrase be?
Oh god, we said a lot of silly things.
I think time for gunk is pretty good.
Time for. You know what? Yeah.
Stealing it from your uncle.
Sure, that's fine.
Time for gunk's pretty funny.
Time for gunk.
Time for gunk!
Time for gunk. But thank you, Rigo. Thank you, Ivy, for being here, and I hope to do more
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I hope to do more streams like this in the future. I will be doing Fired Emblem tomorrow because I'm having fun with that. But yeah, thank you for hanging out and stuff, and yeah, I hope you have a good night. Bye-bye.
Everybody...
What?
I was gonna say, everybody donate right now.
Oh.
And then it switched over.
Oh.
There's an RR name. Right when I said